can escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Thursday, January 30th. We're going to preview our NBA, NHL, and college basketball cards in just a moment, but we're going to have to start this one out with some breaking news. All right, folks, we're all waking up to the news. We may have caught wind of it last night about the tragic plane crash in Washington with the flight that came out of Wichita, Kansas. And it's affected our sports world a little bit here with some really bummer news that we've learned that several members of U.S. figure skating were killed in the crash last night. No senior level members may have been on board that flight, but certainly there were developmental and junior champions and elite coaches on that flight. No survivors apparently will make it from that horrific crash, a collision with the Blackhawk helicopter last night, but there were 60 passengers and 4 crew members on that flight, including 2 famed Russian former figure skaters who were coaches, Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov. They were a married couple who were coaches in the United States, and their son is a member of the U.S. national figure skating team. These were athletes that were involved in some events post U.S. championships. Of course, the U.S. championships were held last weekend in Wichita, and there were some other types of activities involving some of these skaters afterwards, really developmental training and competition. And so they caught their flight later in the week, but we saw what happened there last night. So just really a bummer to get our day started. And we'll think of those people today, and not to mention the folks from Kansas and Washington, D.C. and the surrounding areas that are affected by the tragedy. Really the first major air crash in the United States in 15 years, and really the second time that U.S. figure skating has been deeply affected. More than 60 years ago, the U.S. national team, the entire new U.S. national team, was killed in a plane crash in February of 1961 on the way to the World Championships in Belgium, and all 18 members of the team passed away in that crash. So just a little bit of a bummer, but I don't want to continue on with the show, in a completely excited form, even though we got some great sports to talk about today. I certainly want to think about those people today affected by it. I watched the World Championships. I'm a figure skating fan, so I definitely saw some great competition last week on NBC and Peacock. Really enjoy figure skating myself, having, been a friend of mine when I was younger, let's just say, she was a figure skater, so I really took a great liking to the sport, and I pretty much watched U.S. championships and the world championships and the Olympics for certain. I'm not totally watching every event, but the highest level I certainly like to watch. And no doubt there were some skaters on that team that may have eventually ended up as senior level participants. So we'll just think about those people, get on with our show today. And I hope you guys also think about all those involved. Hopefully, all those families will take peace in the days to come. All right, let's get started with the show. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam. This is Ramon Scott coming to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. We're going to preview today our NBA, NHL, and college basketball card. And we're going to talk about our fun we had yesterday with the guys watching the Champions League. Wasn't that crazy? Hopefully you guys were able to join us yesterday for the 18 simultaneous games. Man, I thought we did a pretty good job with Sub and Mike and myself watching those games, and also some great members of our chat. They were really doing a great job keeping us updated on some of the goals there yesterday with it's hard to follow 18 games at once. We get carried away, right, when we talk about watching, 6, 7, or 8 NFL games on a Sunday. But nonetheless, we had some big time fun. And hey, if you caught our spreadsheet, we did finish over 5 units ahead there yesterday. And I think that'll be okay. We did have about, I want to say it was 36 bets and all, 37, 38 bets, something like that. We finished 5 units ahead, and we had some great plays in there yesterday from the guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And I don't know what our plans are for the knockout round. I think that was just kind of a special thing the last 2 shows that we did there. But man, what a turnout. I always look at the YouTube views, but you're really going to look at the views on X, with it being such a worldwide event. I couldn't believe that we had almost 400 viewers at the peak of the show yesterday. A majority of them come in on X. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily the case for our regular shows. It's probably more split there with the YouTube and the great comments from the viewers. But man, just thank you to everybody, especially our group here that were participating in the chat yesterday, and just a fun time. We saw the results yesterday as well. Some good results from the crew yesterday. We had Sub, he really nailed that Atalanta and Barcelona game yesterday, and just some good winners from everybody. I chipped in with some winners. I might have been a burden on the guys. I did have some winners with Atletico Madrid yesterday. I had Benfica yesterday as well. We hang on for that total in the Bayern Munich game, and some other winners as well from the guys. Man, Sub had some of those goal scorers like Jimenez. He hit that one at plus 210 yesterday. So it was really cool, really fun time, and really enjoyed that yesterday. You're not going to see anything like that again until next year now. And we were a little bit critical because they played all the games at once, but they just got to be fair to everybody and not let teams play soft or I have less to play for against an opponent. So I think it came out with some pretty good results. Sub really had some great winners, man. He nailed the Real Madrid covering the goal line there as well, and the BTTS in the Dortmund game. Man, I could go on and on and on with Sub's great results, but we finished up 5.31 units on that card yesterday, and hopefully you were able to have your own winners or share in our winners as well. We made a spreadsheet available before the action there, so you can kind of tail our plays a little bit if you were unfamiliar with it. And congratulations to Sub and Mike for putting on a great show yesterday. And thank you to Dan as well for his contributions a night before. He had a sick puppy and he couldn't make it to join us, but we had a meeting before, and Dan had some great input yesterday and some good plays as well. He had PSV on the money line yesterday. So just a fun time we had yesterday with that action. So let me say hello to some folks in the chat. We'll get started with the show here, and we'll carry on a little bit here despite the events of overnight. Let me say hello to my friends here in the chat all-stars. Hey, this is why I wake up every morning, a couple hours here. Remember, got a couple of announcements here too in just a moment. Want to say hello to Joe T. He's here today with ready to go in the chat. Maybe I should fire up the community, make sure anything I'm missing here in the community tab. I know one thing Joe would like to let everybody know about is the fact that we have some polls going on for the Super Bowl. He'll be running some polls throughout the next 10 days or so as we lead up to the action, and just kind of gauging your input. And I think we'll probably do some coverage of the polls there, the results of the polls, and see what you guys think about some of the games. Some of them are real hardcore poll, whether or not wins, losses, yardage, and things like that. Some fun ones too, right? With the coin toss and some of the great halftime performances. I know Joe was asking which female had the best halftime performances I see here, and I think I might have a favorite. I also can throw in the men. I think, for me, Prince. I think when we talk about all the shows, I know Michael Jackson had the legendary show, but remember when Prince performed in the rain and they said, Prince, did it bother you that it started to rain remember Purple Rain, right? But he said, no, in fact, can you bring more rain? So, that said it all right there. So, Cash Kane's here today. Thank you. Joe W. He had a fun time joining us in the chat. Toucan's got, what's he got here? He's got some Euro plays here. I have made one bet. I'll add mine here. Toucan says, play Alba Berlin over Maccabi, first quarter over 44.5. I have one play that I've actually made here today. I've got Baskonia over Barcelona in EuroLeague baskets today. Didn't even think about making it part of the show. I just don't know if we have enough excitement or input. You can get a lot of those games on ESPN Plus, but Baskonia, they are a 1.5 point favorite over Barcelona. That'll be my play to join Toucan. Why not wrap them up in a parlay? Toucan, let's see if we can hit it. I bet you'll probably hit yours, and you'll have to sweat mine out, but I'll take Baskonia over Barcelona today in EuroLeague. Those games get underway here. I think Toucan's play, both of our games will be, Toucan's play will be at, let's see here, 2:05 Eastern, 11:05 Pacific, and mine will be at 2:30 Eastern and 11:30 Pacific. How about that to get the show started? Be some steam here rolling in too that we'll get going. Fernando, fun day yesterday with the soccer as well. Nasty Nate says the Celtics smashed yesterday. I knew they would. That was the spot where they do smash. So we had some action here in the NBA. I'll talk about. Nate's gonna take his winners there. Robert McCormick. Good morning, Bob. Nice to see you. Nasty Nate says, have I seen Yellow Jackets? Oh man, what is that? Like the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets? Is it a movie? What is it, Nate? I don't, man, what is that? All right, yeah, Bob, yeah, no doubt that was a bummer there. When we got that news, I was actually on the air yesterday on, I want to also thank yesterday, I don't know if you guys are follow me too much. I actually appeared on 4 different shows yesterday, 3 different channels, and I spent 9 hours on YouTube yesterday talking sports and sports betting, and I was actually on the air, kind of broke the news a little bit to an audience during a betting show. I want to thank Holden Kushner over at Nuke the House for inviting me to join him yesterday. I was filling in for the great Sean Fox yesterday. He was a little under the weather, but man, what all he did was roll about 90% winners on his player props yesterday, and I wish I could keep up with all the great player props that he had over there at Nuke the House. But I do want to shout those guys out. Shout out Holden Kushner and the guys, Keg, and everybody over at the Nuke the House channel. Just want to promote those guys a little bit for inviting me over there yesterday. It was a fill-in spot for Sean. He was a little under the weather, but he had a Jordan-like performance with his player props. I got to be honest with you, it was really cool. AOD is in the chat. Sports money here today, and DB Gnarly here. Oh, thank you, DB. You're always welcome. I think you're probably watching some of the shows too, I think, and there. And look at Fernando, right? What did I say, Fernando? What did I set the over-under at? Did I say 66.5? And I think Mike went under, but I think I got it real close there yesterday. And let's see. Oh, Toucan won his 3 games. How about that? Gerardo was in on Real Madrid yesterday. Oh, hey, everybody. There he is. I was getting worried there. There's my man, Thomas Lewis. Hey, everyone. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. The fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube with shows like we did yesterday. That's how we get it built up. You guys are great contributors to our viewership, but man, that was really awesome to have so many views. Am I famous? All right, chosen one here today. Truth Teller was here. I saw him yesterday as well over there. I think on the where was it? Was the Truth Teller in the soccer chat, or was it the Nuke the House chat? He's the Truth Teller, and I'm the Truth Seller. I hope everything is going great. Truth Teller, you made the right decision. I promise you, I did the same thing as you did just a few years ago, and I think it will work out for you, sir. All right. Let's see, chosen one. Is he all ready to go in the action here today with some of ours? AOD says Janet Jackson was his favorite, and I'll have you naked by the end of this song. Good morning to Old E here today. Philly Eagle Flyer, of course. It's gonna be a big week for Philly Eagle Flyer there. And see what else is going on. And he's gonna take Baskonia with me today. I want to do it. I want to play some Euro baskets today. I've been playing some tennis here overnight. Had some ups and downs, but enjoyed watching the action. I'm watching the tennis here right now while I was getting ready for the show. So, man, some steam's rolling in. I feel like we should touch on some of it right now. So, okay. And Nasty Nate's describing that Yellow Jackets show to me. I'll be interested to know what that's all about. All right, I'm going to do the commercial here, and then we'll roll off some steam here today and also talk about some winners yesterday on the show. But you can catch my best plays over at winnable.com. We were in the profit. We're having back in a good groove, I think, here. You can get my best plays over at winnable.com/Ramon. We had definitely some winners yesterday on the card here. I went 9-5-1 in college basketball. And if you think that's a lot of plays, well, there were a lot of games, and that's how I play the games there. So we had winners in college basketball yesterday with my premium picks, including Loyola Chicago over George Mason in an overtime game that was very low scoring. We also had Massachusetts and Rhode Island game to go over. I also had a winner BMI and Wofford game to go under. We also had Chattanooga and Western Carolina game to go under as a premium pick winner here yesterday. Also, Richmond and George Washington game to go over. We had Fordham over LaSalle as a premium pick winner yesterday, in Illinois Chicago for another college basketball premium pick winner. Also, Syracuse and Stanford game late night to go under was a premium pick winner. And we had Bucknell over Loyola Maryland as a premium pick winner. In the NHL, yesterday, we had some winners here on the show, including the Florida Panthers over the Kings and also the Minnesota Wild over the Leafs yesterday. And shout out Mikey Money. He had that total in the Wild and the Leafs game to go under yesterday. I had some premium pick winners in NBA as well, as we went 2-1 yesterday. Our winners were the New York Knicks over Denver, and we also had the Minnesota Timberwolves in that wild game against Phoenix with all the anger going on there in that one. So, hey, check me out over at winnable.com. You can click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen if I can get rid of my graphic there. And that'll take you right to my Winnable page. You can subscribe for just $4 a day, $8 a month, or $8 a week, or $19.95 a month. That's 50 cents a day, and you'll get a bunch of plays from me. I think, you'll take 9-5, or let's see, overall, would 11-7-1 be worth 50 cents to you? Why not check me out over at winnable.com? Support me here on the show. This is how you support me and keep me coming back every day. You probably could do it with just your company here, but if you do want to show me some support here and make the show a little bit better, you can subscribe to those picks over at winnable.com. All right, appreciate that, everybody. And we also had some nice winners here on the show yesterday as well in the college basketball card. It was kind of a wild college basketball card, certainly yesterday, with some of those games we can kind of touch on. I thought the big one, of course, was Alabama in their win over Mississippi State. Alabama shot nearly 50% from three-point range, even though they struggled at the free throw line and they couldn't stop Hubbard, who had 38 points, but it was Alabama getting the win yesterday. We had them here on the show over Mississippi State. Ole Miss beat Texas 72-69. We did have the over in that game. It did maybe sneak over for some. It landed right about 141, but just want to mention Texas led that game in the first half by double digits, but Texas struggling here all of a sudden, just 3-5 in their last 8 games. And good on Coach Beard for beating Texas there yesterday. I want to mention so far SEC home underdogs 11-6 against the spread so far this season. Missouri Valley play Illinois Chicago blasted Bradley to snap Bradley's winning streak, and now Drake and Bradley are both 9-2 in the Missouri Valley Conference. You might want to put this one in your LJ notebook here, if you know what I mean. Missouri Valley Conference home favorites this season, 14-28 against the spread in the MVC. How about DePaul? They got the money against UConn. Yeah, UConn won the game by 11, but the Blue Demons led 28-14 early in that one. Connecticut continues to be up and down for sure, winning just 3 of their last 6 games. It was Creighton over Xavier, and Creighton picked up their 6th straight win yesterday. In the Big 12, it was Houston rocking West Virginia yesterday, 63-49. Yeah, we had the under as our pick here on the show. That one did kind of take us out of the consensus parlay. We had losers with LSU, with West Virginia, and we were rolling out a 7 or 8 teamer there, if I remember correctly. So we didn't get it done, but we did have some other consensus winners, including Maryland yesterday. You had them, I had them, and several of you in the chat had them. That's why it was a consensus winner yesterday. Some of the big upsets here. One more I want to mention. So Houston won the game, and they did cover the spread there against West Virginia, but that doesn't belittle the fact that it does accentuate the fact that Big 12 home underdogs this season are 4-14 against the spread in the Big 12, 4-14 against the number. Some big upsets last night. VMI over Wofford. Like I said, I did have the premium pick winner in that one as VMI gets the win there yesterday. You might have caught me on one of those other shows giving out VMI yesterday. The 12.5-point dog, they won it by 7. Old Dominion stunned App State 78-77 as an 11-point dog. Virginia Tech had the biggest upset of the major conferences, beating Florida State by 10 points as a 10.5-point dog yesterday. Also, Rutgers. If you caught me on the Nuke the House show, I gave out Rutgers as one of my plays, and I said, well, the 2 young stars are in the game, and then right before tip-off, we see that Harper was out of the game. It didn't matter. Rutgers won it by 7 over Northwestern. Fordham upset LaSalle. Evansville upset Murray State. Late night action in the West Coast Conference. It was St. Mary's over Santa Clara, 67-54. Yeah, we were able to get that one done here yesterday on the show. We did have St. Mary's as a favorite there yesterday. And one other one we had on the show was kind of interesting, right, with the Germain small school. It's mid-major Thursday here today. Germain's favorite segment, or we might name it after Germain, but here we had the Stetson North Florida game. How about that game, right? I said go over. I said, wow, this one, I don't think 166, 168, whatever it was going to be enough, right? 101-100 was the final score in that game between Stetson and North Florida, and we did have the over yesterday as well. So, all right. By the way, so Furman beat Sanford in that early game. We did have the under as our show winner here yesterday. We'll mention that Southern Conference home favorites are 11-18 against the spread so far this season. So one more late night game. It was Utah State beating UNLV 76-71, and Virginia beat Miami, another one where I gave out on another channel here, Virginia, yesterday to get that win. So ACC home underdogs 11-16 so far this season. Another exciting one was Temple over Charlotte in double overtime, 90-89. How about Jamal Mashburn Jr. with 34 points in that game for Temple, looking like the old man yesterday. So also that other big game in the A-Sun yesterday. We didn't preview it on the show. We probably should have. Gulf Coast over Jacksonville, 83-79. Both teams are 7-2 in the A-Sun. And we did mention that Mason game with the premium pick winner with Loyola Chicago went overtime, and the final score was 58-53. Mason remains up there on top of the standings over VCU, over St. Louis. A-10 home favorites in the A-10 are 14-21 against the spread. Home underdogs in the A-10 are 16-9. So, all right, I think that's a good look at college basketball. Keep some of those trends in mind moving forward. So, all right, don't forget, check out those plays over at winnable.com/Ramon. That's how you get in touch with me. Oh, I was going to look at the oh man, we gotta cover some of this steam here before we get going. Man, did you hear it? It just keeps going off here. It feels like at this point, but all right. And let's. I was going to look at the my winnable, and I was going to show everybody how to get there. I know many of you have seen it. If you haven't, but then I turned in, and me. I like to start off the morning with the markets going up and going crazy. We like that, right? We like a good start to the stock market there. Let's go. Put us up a dime before we even get started, it feels like. But hey, when you go over there to winnable.com, you can check out my picks there, and the options are there for Apple Pay, Google Pay. Look, $4 a day. You would have had yesterday. What did I say? 11 wins, 7 losses, and 1 push, and you maybe even won that push. I don't think there were many losers on that push game, but I'd try to give out the toughest line just in case. So what you do over there, you can subscribe to it just like this, $19.95 a month, 50 cents a day. Hit that subscribe, and then it'll punch you up like this. When you hit the subscribe, you know what happens? It takes you right to a page where you can choose the Apple Pay, and then you click on it, and then it says, of course, double click on it there, and you know how that works, kind of like ordering my Taco Bell. I'll double click, and you got that those crunchy tacos and that. What's the new thing? The cheese dippers, I think I got there the other day. So, all right, use the promo code STEAM. That's how you get it down to 50 cents a day over there at winnable.com. Please consider subscribing to my picks there. Remember, I had a pretty good day here with some of the numbers there. NBA premiums 2-1, 5-1 the last 2 days, and NHL. So that's how I'm going to start. People said, come on, give us some records, Ramon. And it's hard, man. It's a lot of games, right? I like to have a lot of action, but I always give you my best plays over there at winnable.com. All right. Say hello to a few more folks and then get rolling with the show here today. We got plenty of hockey to look at, a little bit of a NBA here. And, okay, Nasty Nate. I thank you. That's very interesting. Nate says that show Yellow Jackets is a high school girls soccer team plane crashes and they survive. Very similar to a movie I remember watching as a kid, a kind of a documentary called Survive, when there was I think it was a Chilean or Colombian rugby team that crashed in the Andes Mountains, and some of them did not survive, but some of them did, and they had to resort to some crazy stuff. True story, some unfortunate ways that they had to eat to survive, if you know what I mean. And one of the tales of the story is that when some folks set out and they couldn't go separate, and if they would have walked one way, they would have found civilization much sooner. They walked the wrong way there, and it's a true story there. All right. Hey, Tyrone Christopher, good to see you today. Billy talking about those Rutgers Stars. Oh, Tyrone says, how long have I been back? Oh, man, Tyrone, I didn't realize you hadn't been over here at the new Sports Money Network. Man, I came on here with Mikey Money back on the first day of the NFL season, and been here every day ever since. So, and Billy says it's been a long time since we had Coach Chaney. Coach Chaney, remember Coach Chaney? Bill, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. All right. You'll take a chalupa. All right, you got you said it, Bill. That you know about that movie too, there for sure. All right, let's get going. Fernando says Lakers smash spot today. I don't know. The Lakers as a favorite without Anthony Davis, 2-8 in the last 10 games. That they have no AD, but they are playing the worst team in the league. So we'll talk about it. First up, I think that's a good transition. Let's go, Fernando. Here we go. Oh, it's not the first game. Oh, I blew it. We'll start with is it not the first game? Okay, I guess not. I know there was a little bit of time changes there in the shuffling of the times here. So this one's first with Atlanta and Cleveland here today. Let's get started. I was going to read off some more winners in soccer, but we got to go. Get the show started. Oh gosh, you guys, let me make my announcements here real quick. So we will have companion coverage this Saturday of UFC Saudi Arabia coming to us from Riyadh. This programming will start at 9 a.m. Eastern. Well, it may even start. I'm going to say 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, with UFC coverage from Saudi Arabia, including that main event there. It'll be, a little bit later, but Israel Adesanya will be taking on Nasruddin Imavov, the Dagestani that fights out of France, in that middleweight bout between top 5 contenders, and we'll have companion coverage here on the Sports Money Network. You can get ready right now with our previews. We had first strike last night with the guys. They made their 4 top picks for the action. So please consider checking that video out. You got a couple days to do it, but don't forget, it is an early morning start on Saturday with the UFC. So be ready for that. And because of that, we're going to go with the morning steam, everybody, at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 a.m. Pacific time. And, I have no problem doing that, of course, for our featured coverage. I mean, we are centric on UFC, so if you can make it, if you can wake up with me, I know the weekend is our most watched shows, but I don't want anybody to show up and say, "Where's Ramon?" So I'm going to make the announcement today and one more day tomorrow about the early show. We're just going to go 2 hours. We're going to go kind of quick there on Saturday, probably limit the schedule a little bit. We could start earlier, but I don't know if that's a great idea. So we'll start at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time, 3:30 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday. So please join me then. And so check out First Strike, and also check out my show with VB that we've moved over here to the Sports Money Network. We preview 3 fights every week. This is our 4th season doing this show. Myself and VB, an internationally known UFC handicapper. The guy's got thousands of followers on X, and he has inexpensive pick packages as well. I just want to throw that in there. He does such a great job with me. We have great guests. Many of the guests you'll recognize as some of the top MMA handicappers on YouTube. This week we had Gordo Gambles, a great MMA handicapper, picking the fights with us. We previewed a couple of other fights with Bogdan Grad and Lucas Alexander. We also previewed the Said Nurmagomedov and Vinicius Oliveira fight in that stacked bantamweight division. So check out this show also. Between the 2 shows, you're going to get a lot of picks heading into the fight card this weekend. All right, let's get back to what I was felt naked there for a second. Let's get back to what we were going to do here and get ready for the show with the Hawks taking on the Cavaliers here. Get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready, as we're ready to roll here with the NBA coverage. Just 5 games in the NBA tonight. I've got my sheet ready. So here we go. The Hawks come in on a losing streak right now. A little bit rough going here right now for the Hawks. Yeah, they've had a couple of injuries here and there of late, but Cleveland continues to rock right now. They're back to winning after, obviously having a little bump in the road, but consider who they were playing in those games. A tough Houston team, and maybe Philadelphia. They lost to them too, and certainly Philadelphia playing a little bit better. They looked pretty good last night, beating up on or was it last night or whatever it was the night before in that game against the Lake Show, but they beat up the Kings yesterday. That's what it was, right? So here we go with the Hawks, though. They did cover the last 2 games as underdogs against Houston and Minnesota. So, you got to count that as a little bit of success here, despite this current losing streak. Cleveland, meanwhile, has been pretty dynamite. They're 22-3 at home this season. They've won 17 of their last 22 games, and they're pretty good at covering the spread too. It's not like they're overrated or anything. That's how, to be honest, right? I mean, if you're winning and covering the spread, you're still underrated if you're the Cavaliers. They are 28-15 as a favorite, 16-9 against the spread at home. Atlanta just 11-14 against the spread on the road, but they are 16-12 against the spread as a dog. Now, Cleveland, you think of them as a little bit of a defensive team, but they've been a big time over this season. They are 28-14 to the over as a favorite. Atlanta's been going under of late for sure. They're 2-8 to the under in their last 10 games, 1-7 to the under in their last 8 games, and they've gone under in 5 straight games on the road. So let's see what you guys want to do in this one when the Hawks take on the Cavs here tonight from Cleveland. And we'll go to the chat here. Atlanta Let's see here. Oh, Cleveland over in 6 straight games when they playing on a back-to-back. Of course, they played yesterday against the Miami Heat, and they beat up on the Heat. I went with the Heat yesterday. Mikey Money had Cleveland on his show. Shout out, Mike. He had that one. I thought that the Heat without Butler will start to play better. And you know what? I still think they will be a good spread team. I think I'll say without Butler. I think they'll be a little bit underrated. I think the general public might still just say, hey, you don't have Butler. This team isn't. And there's no doubt the thing with the Butler, I know we're not on Miami, but you'd like to try to get that return, trade him and get at least some players that can help you on the court. So, all right. Atlanta, not too good, though, as a dog. Let's see what you got, chat. And then I'll make my pick as well. That's how we do it here on the Morning Steam. And thank you, Tyrone. That's awesome, man. If Tyrone buys the premiums today, if he buys one day, I'll put on an extra day there. If Tyrone buys a week, I'll put on a few extra days. I'll put on 3 days. If he buys a month, I'll put on a whole nother week there. And that's just not for Tyrone. That's for everybody today. If you buy my picks today, anybody that buys today that isn't on an automatic renewal, shout out to you guys that are on the auto renewal, man. I really appreciate all your support. The monthly subscribers, particularly, like some of my good friends in here that watch the show. All right, let's go see who we've got here. There's Billy talking about Don Chaney. I'll kill you. I think, who was he talking about? Was he talking about, I don't think it was Coach Cal, right? Maybe. Oh, we was talking about Patino. I'm trying to remember back. Man, that was like 25 years ago or more, it seems like. All right, let's see here. We're talking the injury report there, maybe a little bit. We know we've had, Trae Young has been on the injured list, but he's probable here tonight. But still, Atlanta, look, you got Capella out, Bogdanovich out, and Jalen Johnson out as well for Atlanta. Cleveland has some questionable players here. Dean Wade is out, Okoro questionable, Merrill questionable, and LeVert is questionable. All right, Thomas says it is a lot of points, though. Cavs first half. Or Robert Fernando says, Ramon, update your total there in this one. This one's gone up here to 238. Yeah, for sure, Fernando. I'm showing the same thing here. Let me tack on a couple more points. I'm seeing 237.5 as a general line. You may have 238 at your book, but I'm going to update that right now. So keep those comments coming here. Did I see Redbeard in the chat today? There, thank you, Red. Oh, look at Redbeard here. There, Old E hit a 425 underdog. Thank you, Redbeard, for your support here on the Sports Money Network. All right, Fernando says Cavs to smash here today. Yeah. They just keep crushing here, it feels like, doesn't it? And that was his plays there yesterday. Thank you. And what else? Yeah, I think you're right. There, Bob. Man, you got it. What a memory. Hawks in the over here for Jerry. All right. And thank you, Irish King. Nice to see you today. All right, I better make the call here in this one. Look, I mean, Cleveland, man, you talk about some of these overs right now. I mean, gosh, Cleveland, they're just terrific. And to me, I don't know, they are pretty entertaining to watch, too, it feels like, when I see this team. So, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and lay it here in this one with the Cavaliers. The Sharps are definitely taking Atlanta here, but, man, it just seems like that's a lot of injuries. I'm going to take the Cavs here in this one. And look, Trae Young back in there. I'm sure they'll be scoring some points here, if you know what I mean. But, all right, I think that might be it. Jerry said he took 3 bets. So we had one guy in the chat took 3 bets and won. One guy took 3 bets and lost. Bummer. But we did add it all up there yesterday and ended up with 5.3. You can go back and look at that chart right now and see that we finished 5.31 units there yesterday to the good. All right.
Final.
Oh man, we never covered that Steam. I'll just wait for the college basketball. It's all pretty stale right now. But in this game, though, there was, let me see here, the widely reported Steam came in on the under in this game at 237.5 or so. But like Fernando said, it's still hanging out up there right now at about that number. So I'll take the Cavs in this one. Oh, Irish King here. He wants to go with Cleveland first quarter and first half. Okay, great. All right, here it is. The Lakers now sans their superstar, Anthony Davis. Superstar it is. He's missed 3 games this season only, but he'll miss another one here. And we do know it's going to be at least a week with that abdominal strain. And those are, pretty tough injuries to overcome. I would imagine you're going to be without Davis here for about 2 weeks, actually, moving forward. So Lakers did end up losing that game after Davis left the game, right? And against the Sixers, and the Sixers won 118-104 to snap the Lakers' winning streak. For the Washington Wizards, this losing streak right now, it's of epic proportions, and they're not exactly covering many numbers either. So we'll see here. This is kind of a tough one in a way because of the fact that you have, like I said, the Lakers, the last 10 games without Anthony Davis as a favorite are 2-8 against the spread. So he is an important player. There's no doubt about it. We can make fun of him a little bit. I'm here to defend Anthony Davis's durability right now this year. I'm willing to, injuries are injuries. And I believe Davis, when he misses games, I don't know. I'm not calling him soft necessarily. He's toughened it up this year. And, he misses. There are a few players that are going out there making every game anymore, it feels like, but Washington has lost 15 straight games coming into this one, and the Lakers are actually moving higher here right now. This one opened 6.5, and now the Lakers are up to 8.5. So, and that's with, LeBron, this is supposed to be kind of his rest spot today. So that's another thing that you're going to have to consider here. I don't know why the line is necessarily moving higher here. Now, Vanderbilt returning to this Lakers lineup. That's good news. Hachimura probable here as well. But you've got Christian Wood. Or no, I'm sorry. Hood Schifino out of this game. DFS questionable. Gabe Vincent questionable. So the Lakers have some issues coming in. For the Wizards, you've got Brogdon questionable here, and Sarr is questionable as well. So Lakers, like I said, I'm not sure about the pieces today. I'm wondering if LeBron might even take this one off there. I know they really can't, I don't want to say not necessarily afford it. The Lakers are doing pretty well considering that, look, in the last year or so, right, they've even been a little bit behind this pace as far as keeping up in their playoff position and all that, having, to fight their way just to get into the playoffs. Right now, they're, at least in a decent position here. So let's go to the chat here a little bit and see what you guys might have to say in this one with the Lakers. They've won 5 straight against Washington. Washington's covered the spread in 5 of the last 6 years at home against the Lakers, and 4 of the last 5 games between these two teams here in Washington have gone over, but Washington's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games coming into this one. Not only have the Wizards lost 15 straight, they've also lost 25 games in a row on the back-to-back. dating back to last year. Of course, the Wizards lost last night to the Raptors. A big time win there for the Raptors. We had them here on the show, of course. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have tonight when the Lakers take on the Wizards. And let's see. Jerry said he had the Sixers in that smash spot. All right, Robert likes the under here in this one with the Lakers and the Wizards. And Billy says, even though Washington's horrible, if the Lakers have any, reservations of not playing any defense, you see this total, it has gone down here for sure. What am I showing here right now? 224.5. It's definitely lower than that. I think there was some steam that came in on the under in this game. It was 225, but we're down to 223.5 right now here with the Lakers and the Wizards. I think that's pretty much the line across the board here. So let's see what you guys, let me go back to some more comments here and see if we can't get the pick here with the Lakers and the Wizards. All right.
System playing.
And they're gonna beat someone, right? Fernando on the under here, and Billy says looks like an easy over here to him. I don't know. I kind of like the pressure we're seeing to the under here. I don't disagree with Billy very often, but I might on this one. All right, and he says he might take the point. I'm gonna just go against Billy. Oh my God, Billy, I'm sorry. But I am going to take this is a big number. I'm going to take the Lakers. The problem is I just don't know if LeBron's going to make this lineup. And look, I still think it's a Lakers spot to a certain extent. The line will definitely go down if LeBron's not in there, right? We'll probably go back down to probably go under 5.5 or less. I'll take the Lakers. I'm not sending this out as a premium. I like the total. So this one's probably going to have to wait for the, late update on Winnable to get the lineup in there. So be looking for that as subscribers here. Maybe I might be on the total there. But, man, I really don't like 8.5. But I can only go with the Lakers here at this point. I think there will be some support out there for the Wizards here finally with AD out of the lineup. So, thanks, Jason. Nice to see you here. I think he was with us over there on the show with Holden and myself over at Nuke the House. I'm just making appearances over there on these other channels, gang. This is, I'm all about the Sports Money Network. Let's take a break, you guys, from the NBA and for just a moment and run down all this steam that's been coming in here. You probably heard it go off about 10 times. So please get your rotation orders ready for all this college basketball steam. I'm about to come with it. The one that just came in seconds ago is UL Lafayette and Texas State, Louisiana and Texas State. This one is seeing steam here to the under. It was 146. We're down to 145 here right now with Louisiana and Texas State. We're seeing the steam coming in here on the under in this one. Current line there is now 144 at circa, so a 2-point move there. If you hurry and you like that under, you can still get a big 145.5 out there right now at Bet Online. Juice to the under. Seattle and Grand Canyon, that one you just heard seconds ago. The steam is coming in right now, right this second on the under. Now Grand Canyon, conference games at home when they're favored big, it usually goes over. But I don't know, this season we've definitely seen some unders here, I think for these teams. But here comes the steam on the under in the Seattle game tonight against Grand Canyon. This one's late at 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific. I always wonder what it would be like to live on the East Coast. I could watch games all night long. Seattle here in Grand Canyon, this one was 143. It's down to 142 right now. Steam on the under with Seattle and Grand Canyon. All right, some more that came in here. These are maybe a little bit more stale, but Mercyhurst against St. Francis. In this one, it was Mercyhurst that took the steam here in this one. It was St. Francis was as high as a 2-point favorite, but now we're down to 1.5 there. Just a little move there. Actually opened 2.5 at some spots, but Mercyhurst took the steam here against St. Francis today. Got to cover these on the extra board with for Jermaine. Liberty and Kennesaw. This one is going to make our preview certainly a pretty good game here with Liberty and Kennesaw today. We are seeing steam in that. Oh, let me interrupt here. One coming in on a big game here, and Ohio State and Penn State. We're seeing steam right this second. It just popped up over the other one, so let me cover it. With Ohio State and Penn State, we're seeing steam here to the over. It was 149. We're seeing it up to 151 right now at Bovada. 2-point move coming in right here. Steam to the over with Ohio State and Penn State. Full disclosure, I'm going on the under, I believe. Well, let me just wait on that. I'll check the market activity, but I did line up the under as my pick here on the show in that game. So just wait and see. I'll take a peek at that market action, but I was looking to go under in the game with Ohio State and Penn State, especially with Penn State at home, and now they have some unders, certainly. Okay, Liberty and Kennesaw, you're seeing steam here to the over in this one. It was a 145, but we're seeing steam to the over here in Liberty and Kennesaw. It's all the way up to 147 here at a few books right now. So interesting to note there, because get the note here on this. Usually we Liberty on the road conference games is a favorite. Sometimes they go over in those games, but the steam's coming in. Sometimes they go under in those games, but the steam's coming in on the over here to 147 with Liberty and Kennesaw. All right, more steam came in as well on. Let me get it here. Georgia Southern took the steam here. This one was, still about 20 minutes ago or so, but just want to get this one out there. Georgia Southern took the steam in their matchup today with Troy. Now, Troy's been a pretty good cover, and Georgia Southern, I don't think they've been that solid, but Georgia Southern taking the steam here. They took it at 12.5, and right now the line is steam play about 11.5. So Georgia Southern taking the steam against Troy on the road. All right. Hey, shout out Toucan. Here is some EuroLeague steam for Toucan. Well, I'll give this one out. I'll recite this steam for my man here. Oh, man, the steam is rolling here on this big card. Let me get this one out first. Let's go to the extra board. The last game on the extra board with Eastern Kentucky. They were getting 11 points from Lipscomb on the road. Eastern Kentucky here, and now Eastern Kentucky is getting just 9 here at BetOnline, 8.5 at Bovada. Imagine that. It was 11 here, but big move here to Eastern Kentucky. Might have to check the lineups or the injury report there in that one with those, with that big move there. Let me see what's going on there. As well, I don't see it. Other than we already know about some of the injuries on Lipscomb from a few weeks ago. So, anyways, a big move there on Eastern Kentucky here. Also, here's that for Toucan, you guys. Steam play in EuroLeague basketball here with Panathinaikos and Milano under 167. The steam coming in right now in some EuroLeague action. How about it? Panathinaikos and Milano, it was 167. It's down to 166 at Bovada right now. It opened 168.5 at BetOnline, but some steam to the under there with Panathinaikos and Milano. All right, let's get back to the college action here. I've got one coming in right now with William and Mary. William and Mary taking the steam here right this second in their matchup here today with Campbell. William and Mary on the road. It was a pick 'em, but right now it looks like William and Mary is going to move to a favorite here. William and Mary is now a 1.5-point favorite. Juiced at Bet Online. They're going to probably move to 2 here, it feels like, with William and Mary taking the steam on the road against the Campbell Camels. All right, a little bit more. We're going to keep it rolling here right now with more steam. Arkansas Little Rock took steam in their matchup with Tennessee State. They were a 7-point favorite, but right now it's going to be moving up here to 8, maybe even juiced up 8 here with Little Rock taking the steam tonight against Tennessee State. Also, Edwardsville and Lindenwood. We're seeing steam here in this one to the under between Edwardsville and Lindenwood. This one was as high as 137.5, but right now this one, Edwardsville and Lindenwood, down to 136.5 at some spots right there, about a point move with that steam. Also, Florida International took the steam against Jacksonville State. I think Jacksonville State's probably been the more reliable team against the spread than Florida International, but nonetheless, Florida International taking the steam here. They were an 8-point dog in their matchup today with Jacksonville, but it's down to 7 here today with Florida International on the road taking the steam against Jayville State. Also, Coastal took their steam against James Madison. Coastal on the road was a 14-point dog, but they took the steam, and right now Coastal Carolina's down to 12.5 in a lot of books here. 1.5 move there for Coastal. They took the steam against James Madison. Also, UTEP and Western Kentucky steam to the under there. With UTEP and Western Kentucky, it was 147, but right now we're seeing that steam came in on the under, and it's there's some 145.5s out there. 1.5 move to the under with UTEP and Western Kentucky. Also, a little bit more came in here on Denver. That's the Denver Pioneers and their game tonight against Missouri, Kansas City. Denver was getting 5 points from UMKC, but right now UMKC here is down to a 4-point favorite, mostly there. 1-point move to Denver. Denver took the steam against Missouri, Kansas City. Stony Brook and Charleston, top of the board. This one took some steam to the under. It was 149.5, took the steam, and now we're down to about 146.5. Pretty big move there. 2.5-point move to the under. Stony Brook and College of Charleston. Some books actually showing a little bit higher. Some of the square books are up. Bovada's 148.5 here in Las Vegas, or even Bet Online 146.5. So right now that's a little bit of a discrepancy there. Some books a little bit behind, it looks like. Bakersfield took some steam as a favorite at home against Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Bakersfield was a 3-point favorite against Cal Poly, but right now they've moved up here for sure tonight in that game, and Bakersfield is a 4-point favorite against Cal Poly. 1-point move for Bakersfield. They took the steam. Central Connecticut and Long Island on the extra board here. Steam to the over in this one. And these teams kind of go under, right? So far this season, slightly trending under, but steam to the over here. Central Connecticut and Long Island. Look, there's a low total here. It was 124.5. The game opened 123.5 at some books. We're up to 126 right now with Central Connecticut and Long Island steam to the over. Utah Tech and Tarleton. Man, all this since I came on the air, what were we talking about? Well, we had that monologue there, that bummer monologue, but here is Utah Tech and Tarleton steam to the over here. It was 134. I think we're almost done, gang. And 134, it's all the way up to 136.5 right now at Bovada. That's a 2.5 point move to the total over. We've seen maybe a couple of unders from these teams this year, but Utah Tech in conference play on the road as a dog, they kind of trend over a little bit. Steam right this second just came in. You might have heard it with Maine right now. Maine in their matchup tonight with New Hampshire. They were a 12-point favorite, but here comes the Steam, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, top of the board here, and Maine is going to go up to 13, it looks like. I would imagine it could go even a little bit higher. Maine just took some steam in the matchup against New Hampshire. I don't think that one's that significant yet, but looks like it is on the move here a little bit. Portland and Loyola Marymount took some steam to the over here. It was 143 in that one, and right now in the Portland-Loyola game, it is currently up to 146.5 at Bovada. That is a 3.5 point move this morning to the over with Portland and Loyola Marymount. Georgia State and Marshall took steam here to the under. Georgia State and Marshall, it was a 152.5, but the steam came in with Georgia State and Marshall here in this one. Man, this is a lot. And all the way down here to 150 right now here at the sharpest book in Vegas. 2-point move to the under with Georgia State and Marshall. Hockey steam came in. Blue Jackets and Golden Knights steam to the over in that one with Vegas and Columbus tonight in Vegas. Was about a juiced 6 there, I do believe, but right now we're showing it at 6.5, shaded to the under here with the Blue Jackets and the Golden Knights. I think that's going to do it here. Let's get back to the action right now. Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. And let's see what we got here, and we'll get back here to our action. Let's go to it. All right. Next up, the Timberwolves here and the Jazz. We saw the Timberwolves. Hey, we had them last night in that game against Phoenix as a premium pick here yesterday. We saw some theatrics with the coach getting ejected in the game. We saw some pushing and shoving, I think, and yelling. We saw some yelling. That's what we saw for sure. But the Utah Jazz come in here with a losing streak once again right now. They're not playing very well. They've had some injuries for sure in their lineup, so it's just been a little bit of a rough go again here right now for Utah. They continue to play pretty bad here at this point. They're 10-35 overall. Minnesota's on a 4-game winning streak here right now, and they've covered a few of those too. They got the money last night against Phoenix. They didn't cover against Atlanta as a double-digit favorite, but they rocked Denver, and they failed against Dallas in a 1-point victory, but it's still a 4-game winning streak. Utah having all sorts of problems right now. They've lost 7 straight games. They've lost 10 of their last 11 games overall coming into this one. So what can you do here when the Timberwolves take on the Jazz tonight? Got Minnesota here, a 7-point favorite. I think it's down to 7 here. The total 224 or so in this one. You got Naz Reid questionable, Terrence Shannon questionable as well. For Utah, their injuries have been significant, but we'll see what happens tonight. Ju Zhang questionable, Kessler questionable, Collins questionable. Those are guys you want to have in the lineup, especially the big men in there. Also, Cody Williams is out. Clarkson is probable in this one. So what you want to do here with the Timberwolves and the Jazz, Timberwolves on the road, they've covered 5 straight meetings here in Utah. One and covered 5 straight meetings here in Utah. 8 of the last 11 between these two teams in Salt Lake City have gone under, and the total's gone under in 4 of the last 5 meetings overall between these two teams. Minnesota is 9-0 in the last. I said 5, but that was just in the last 2 seasons, I believe. Utah's actually covered the spread. Minnesota's actually covered the spread 9 straight times here in Utah right now. So let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here between Minnesota and Utah. Minnesota 14-11 against the spread on the road. Now they are 12-24 against the spread as a favorite. That's not great. And meanwhile, Utah is 22-21 against the spread as an underdog. They are 7-11 against the spread at home, but these injuries are kind of been what the big deal here. So, all right, Jermaine likes the under, and that might be it from you guys on this one. Not too much going on here when the Minnesota takes on. And note the time change here. This one now is at 9:10 Eastern, 6:10 Pacific tonight. An hour earlier start than was previously scheduled. So, you got anything else here between this one? Not interesting too many. Here is Robert. He likes the Jazz in this one. I've got to go over here in this one. I don't know. I would think Minnesota can put up a pretty good number here than what we saw, from them. I think you look at what they did there, 121 points against the Suns yesterday on the road. Now, granted, they are on the back-to-back, but they're playing a pretty weak team here for sure. And they've also, remember, they scored the 133 points against Denver 3 games ago. I'm going to go over here. Utah, they give it up big time. They're allowing nearly over 120 points in their last 5 games overall. So I'm going to go over in this one with Minnesota and Utah. Sorry, Jermaine. All right, next up. Again, just note the time changes on this one. This one is now at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Original start time was 7:40 Eastern, so this one's moved back. This is the TNT game here, the late TNT game. The Atlanta game is the early game on TNT, and this is the late game on TNT. Speaking of sports on TV, NBC did announce that their lead NBA team, remember NBC's back in the NBA game next year, their lead, it sounds as if, Tirico and Ian Eagle will be the 2 lead announcers for NBC. They're going to pair Reggie Miller. Say what you will. Hate him or hate him. I don't want to say that. I mean, Reggie's okay, but it will be Tirico and Reggie Miller as the number 1 team at NBC. It was announced yesterday. All right, so let's get it going here. I want to get give me your reaction to that. I know you guys might have an opinion on that. All right, let's go with Houston here on the road against the Grizzlies. Hey, this is a good TV game, right? Houston 32-14, Memphis 31-16. Houston's on a 4-game winning streak coming in. Memphis, meanwhile, they've had a pretty good run here as well, but their winning streak was snapped last time out. Memphis has won 14 of their last 16 games at home. Houston's won 10 of their last 11 games on the road. Can I make it any more difficult for you here in this one when Houston takes on Memphis tonight on TNT? Houston's won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams coming into this one. So I think that's a little bit of significance for sure here. For Houston here, for Memphis, they've gone over in 7 of their last 9 games coming in. Memphis is 30-17 to the over this season, but really that's on, mostly on the road is where they go over. At home, they're play a little bit, but they have a little bit of defense at home. So 30-17 to the over on the road, but 12-12 over under at home. So 18-5 to the over on the road. So at home, more defense really from Memphis is what happens. And they're up against a Houston team that, maybe they trend over a little bit. They're 14-10 to the over, but I think the eye test would say that they are a pretty good defensive team. As underdogs, Houston is 7-7 over under. Now, both teams are terrific against the spread. Memphis is one of the best. They're 21-9 against the spread as a favorite. Houston's 9-4 against the spread as an underdog, 15-8 against the spread on the road. But Memphis is 16-7 against the spread at home. This is a great game, man. This is one I want to get your opinion on before I spout off here in the matchup between Memphis and Houston here tonight. And Houston's been looking great, man. Here we go. This is a good one. Jermaine says those Sixers are rolling. Memphis team total over here for Jermaine. Cash Kane says the Grizz are going to win this one. This is some NBA steam here right now. I'm going to mention it because it's in the next game, but I want to get it out there just in case you're interested. It's that special under team, the Orlando Magic. The steam's coming in on the under right now with the Portland Trailblazers. We know Orlando has the lowest scoring games, if I'm not mistaken, in the league right now, and the steam is coming in again here on the under with Orlando and Minnesota. Also, one move that just came in the NHL right behind it was the Montreal Canadiens in their matchup tonight against Minnesota. They were $1.25, but they're moving higher here. Montreal against Minnesota. Now, Montreal's been terrific for sure at home. They're getting you nearly a third of a unit, but Minnesota's getting you more than a third of a unit on the road as the best road team in the NHL. But the steam is on Montreal tonight. All right. Keep it coming here. Robert, he does like the over here in this one. And let's see here. Let's see. Lost my place here with you guys. John Morant over for Thomas Lewis there. And let's see here. Cash Kane says the Grizzlies will roll here. Let's see. And the Philly Flyers ready to go with the hay. He likes the Montreal in that game. All right. I guess I got to make the call here in this one. I'm taking the under here. I feel a little bit contrarian here with Houston and Memphis tonight, but I'm taking the under here in this one as my play. And I don't know if I could have gone there as a premium. Like I said, these are two over teams, right? But you get Memphis at home, they're just 12-12, even though they're 30. They're, like I said, 18-5 to the over on the road, 12-12 at home. Also, Houston, slightly over team, but they're 7-7 over under as an underdog. So I'm going to take under in this one. The sharps are on the over. So you guys on the over, you guys are sharp. I'm square. I'm going under this big number. All right. Let's see here. James likes the over as well. Twisted says Grizzlies. Billy likes Reggie as the UCLA legend. All right, last game on the board here. We just mentioned it. And this will be Orlando and Portland with Orlando on the road, right? Look, they don't go under every game, but it seems like their scores are the lowest and the totals are the lowest, right? This almost seems high, and maybe that's why that steam did come in on the under. Because now maybe it's against better teams, better defensive teams, but remember Orlando. Look at some of those totals they've had recently: 205, 209, 212, 213, all looking kind of like this number right there, or lower here, right? And they're up against a Portland team here that is 15-8 to the over at home. Now Orlando is struggling a little bit covering numbers of late. Just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. They're 9-15 against the spread on the road. But as favorites, Orlando is 17-10 against the spread. Now, we can make fun of Portland. We wonder, if they're ever going to be able to, grow and get better here with their young players, but they're a profitable team, no doubt. They are 25-17 as an underdog this season. So Well, what can you do here with Orlando and Portland? Could this be the spot for Portland here in this one? Portland's covered 5 straight games coming in. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. They meet just twice a year. For the last 5 years here in Portland, the game has gone under as well. So Portland coming in, playing pretty well right now. What do you guys have here in the chat in this one when we show the game between Orlando and Portland? Let's go to the chat All-Stars and see what you have. Want to say good morning to Barry in the chat. Also, let's see. Cash Kane might have been, is it under in this game? Maybe it was the under in last game. Thomas likes Orlando here in this one. Bill liked the under back in that Memphis game. Thank you. There's Barry. Good morning, Barry. And Cash Kane says, you know what? This is the Blazer spot today. Bill says, you know what? Miami could come back and win the division. And he says that maybe Orlando, do they have the wherewithal long term to kind of, win this division on the road there? I'm showing the line right now here, maybe down to 5 at some spots. There could be some action coming in here on Portland. You got Suggs here, questionable in this one, and Gary Harris is probable here in this one for Portland. Jeremy Grant is questionable. All right, let's get your plays in if you want. Robert likes under here is in this one. I'm taking Portland tonight, but I know that Robert's going to be seeing his play in the premiums probably tonight. Portland playing well. They're doing a good job here, no doubt. You look at Orlando. They failed against Miami in that game, right? You talk about that double overtime game the other night that Miami did win. They did beat Detroit, but before that, they played Portland. And what was the score of that one? Orlando lost 101-79 at home in that game. Now, it was certainly an outlier in that game. Orlando, just a total clunker there at home, 79 points. But, it is what it is. For Portland here, like I said, they're on a big-time cover streak right now. They covered against the Bucks, covered against the Thunder. They lost that game, but covered with 14. We had Portland in that game. They covered against Charlotte, one and covered against Atlanta and Miami. I'm going to take Portland here tonight. That's the NBA. Thanks, everybody. We're almost 90 minutes in. We got to roll this big college, NHL card. Let's move on here. And take a look at the Capitals here. Oh, boy. Can we just take the Capitals and move on or what? The Capitals here, just a $1.15 favorite. And I don't know. It feels like it's becoming a story here a little bit. Let's take the goal. I got to check the goalies out because every time this man takes the ice, I'm talking about just the hottest goaltender here in the game with Logan Thompson, right? Unconfirmed here at this point. Levi Merlanen here possibly for Ottawa. Ottawa is the side of the Sharps here in this one. But, gosh, you can't catch me going against a man that's 23-2-3 in goal this season with a 2.12 goals against. Merlanen's been really strong here for Ottawa. He's been part of their kind of resurgence here. We know the Sharps have been kind of banging on Ottawa here of late, and they've won 2 straight games here right now, and Merlanen has a 2.19 goals against average. This is 2 goalies that are playing pretty well here right now. So let's see what you might have in this one. We're going to have to pick up the pace here a little bit in the NHL. Washington 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. Ottawa 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one with Washington and Ottawa. Washington's gone under in 5 straight. Ottawa's gone under in 5 straight. Washington's gone under in 5 straight on the road. Ottawa's gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. And you got these hot goaltenders. Uh-oh. I got to take the under, man. Are you kidding me? Well, the scores will be 2-1 here tonight or 3-1. It seems like it'll probably be 8-7 or something. But does seem like you got 2 good goalies here. We'll see. You know, Maryland definitely is more of an untested commodity for sure. You know, Thompson definitely. I mean, you got to think that some regret letting him go. But let's go to the chat in this one. And we're going to start with Cash Kane likes the Senators on the puck line here, minus $2. Philly Eagle Flyer says, I need to know if these guys are in there. And give Jermaine the Senators here. He says, caps and under. If it's those 2 goalies that I mentioned, take the first period draw. How about first period 0-0, Philly Eagle Flyer? And Robert likes. He likes the under there. Okay, got it. All right, I like the under for sure. No need to go any further. The Jets are going to take on the Bruins here in this one. And look, the Jets don't have any success when it comes to playing the Boston Bruins. That's for sure. But this is a new Jets. These are the awesome Jets here, right? And look, the Jets are much better, I think, at home than on the road, but they're still 15-9 on the road. 30-9 is a favorite this season. 7-2-1 their last 10. Boston is 8-15 as an underdog, but this has been a bad series in the past for Winnipeg. Now, granted, they could turn it around here a little bit. They're down to $1.33 right now at the sharpest book here in Vegas. Boston has won 19 of the last 21 meetings between these 2 teams in Boston. So that is really a bit of a spell for sure, even as good as Winnipeg is here right now. I'm not going to, I think it's worth noting I think, in that one. But Boston's won short term here, 7 of the last 9 games overall. So that's when Winnipeg has won recently. They won the last matchup back in December, 8-1, 8-1 in that game. And they also, that's been their only meeting this year. But Winnipeg did win another game last season. 5-1. That was in December of 23. So see what you guys have in this one, man. It's tough because that is a pretty significant number when you talk about how many games they've played, and Winnipeg really never wins here. But this is the new Winnipeg here today, and I think I'll move it down to $1.40 here, but I think it's mostly $1.35 at a lot of spots here right now. The total is 5.5. Shaded to the over here, I think now. Oh, no, okay. The 5.5 flat might be the line. I think the square books, the offshore books, are shaded to the under, but the sharpest book here in Vegas is shaded to the over in this one with Winnipeg and Boston. See what you guys have in this one. Winnipeg here, even though they lost a lot of those games, they did cover some puck lines here, but I don't know if the numbers are worth even discussing right now, given what Winnipeg is doing currently. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Okay, it's going to be Cash Kane is on the Jets here. Puck line, Toucan likes the Bruins to win it in regulation. And Matt D. Matt's chiming in on Reggie. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you. Peaceful Looter there today. He says, who's playing the Bruins today? And let's see here. Philly Eagle Flyer says, take the Bruins team total under, Jets puck line and money line. He wants Hellebuck. Jets in regulation here for Jermaine. And Jake Dye, I think he likes the salami under tonight. Who doesn't like a little salami under? Twisted says Bruins money line and over. Robert says I gotta stick with Boston here at home. Nasty Nate's on the Bruins. He says Reggie's the best. And that's what, right? It's hard to go against that, Jermaine. And look, Boston, look, they're still, 25, 21, and 6. We're not throwing Boston out with the baby in the bathwater, so to speak. That's for Jermaine, the cliches that make no sense. All right. So Boston coming off that embarrassing loss to Buffalo 7-2. Meanwhile, Winnipeg here has won 4 straight, including a 4-1 win at Montreal last time out. All right. And Robert says they are on a pretty good run at home. And, you get Boston, against these teams that are playing well. It may end up being kind of an under game. It does feel like there to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this one with Winnipeg and Boston. I'm going to let you guys bang it out there with these interesting moves here. And Thomas says Boston is a consensus play here in this one. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Great job there. Yeah, look who we had. On Boston, we had Nate, we had Twisted, we had Robert. Good job. Good job, Thomas. I wasn't even focused in on that one, noticing that. All right, next up, let's go to the Kings on the road. Uh-oh. Well, that's going to be tough. I don't. Can LeBron even skate? All right, let me. All right. After spending 9 hours on camera yesterday, I think that's my personal record, other than some, movies I've filmed. The Kings are on the road against the Lightning here, man. My Kings are struggling here a little bit for sure. They're still 10 games over 500, 26, 16, and 6, but they have lost 3 straight here. The Lightning have a couple losses in a row as well. They lost to the Blackhawks last game 4-1. They got shut out by Detroit as well. The Kings, though, they've been struggling, no doubt. Losses here to Florida, Detroit, Columbus, as the Kings are trying to find their way. It feels like they almost got to get back home right now to kind of fix things here at this point. Tampa Bay's won at home here against the Kings in 9 of the last 11 meetings here as well. They've won 12 of the last 15 overall against the Kings. So it's been Tampa Bay that has even won in LA a few times as part of the dominance in this series. LA's gone under in 8 of their last 12. They've also gone under in 7 of their last 10 games on the road. And they do sometimes have struggles scoring these goals right now. You look at these goals during this winning streak, and they're averaging really just over, just shy of 2 goals per game, really, right now. No scoring at all here, it feels like, for the Kings. So what are you going to do here in this one with Tampa Bay and the Kings here tonight with goalie situation here? What do we got? We've got Riddick in there. So for Riddick, he's 10-10 with a 2.73 goals against and 88% save percentage. These guys aren't confirmed yet. In fact, I'm going with Vasilevsky probably as the goaltender here, but maybe we could get Johansson, my man Jonas Johansson, in here tonight in this matchup. So what do you have tonight when the Kings take on Tampa Bay? Let's go to the chat and see what you have. And Jermaine, thank you, Jermaine. They were Holden was having some fun with me there, right? And let's see here. I guess maybe I think I'm a boring fellow, but I told you I'm using my best material here. A lot of people were seeing me for the first time probably on that channel, so you got to bring it. But I never embellish the stories. They are all true. But I'm kind of boring. All right, let's see here. Kings for Robert. Here come the plays. Kings money line, sprinkle the draw, says Phil. I'm glad you guys like the Kings in this one. I'm taking the Lightning. I'm showing the line right now. Lightning minus $1.40, $1.45 or so. Give me the Lightning here in this one against the Kings here tonight. I just don't like what I'm seeing from my Kings. And they don't beat the Lightning very often. All right. Blackhawks and Hurricanes here. We won't have to spend too much time on this one. I'm showing a 475 here at some spots right now in this one. Even the sharp books are 450 or so in the matchup tonight with the Hurricanes at home against the Blackhawks here. Blackhawks are off of a win. Remember, just mentioned it, right? They beat Tampa Bay 4-1. Carolina here off of the win. You know who they beat last time? The Rangers 4-0 in their last game. They did lose to the Islanders before that, but still Carolina 7-1-2. I think best to look at the puck line here, though, right? You've got Carolina 15-10 on the puck line at home. Chicago just 12-12 on the road on the puck line. Well, I'm yawning, you guys. I'm trying to hold it in. Was a kind of an exhausting day. Yeah, you think it's easy, right, to just sit here and talk all day, right, right, Jermaine? All right. In this one, I'm going to take Carolina. I think this is a fine matchup for them to get a puck line win here. Let's at least try to look at some of the numbers, but it's not a great situation here. Let's see. Chicago's actually covered puck line in 5 of their last 6 games. You know, they were underdogs in all of those games here. The one they didn't cover was against Minnesota. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but is that really going to happen here today in this matchup? Chicago's 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10. Carolina's 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games or so coming into this one. So let's see what you have here. Blackhawks and Hurricanes. Won't spend too much time on this one. Oh, Matt took Tampa Bay back there. Thank you, Matt. And here is Phil Eagle Flyer likes the Canes first period, team total over. Robert likes the over in this one. I think Robert and I might not be agreeing here, but Twisted likes the over too. Phil Eagle Flyer like the over in the Kings Lightning game. Matt D, he is there. He says single game parlay, Carolina first period money line and Carolina full game money line. Back in the day, they'd never let you do that. It's almost like, I think correlated parlays, you wonder like what these books are letting you do it. But you know what? Good on you, Matt. I love that. Jake Dye says, you know what? I can get behind a 2.5 goal spread here at least. If Carolina, at least Chicago's covering some 1.5s. Yeah, they're up against a pretty strong team here, so maybe they need 2.5. Carolina 31-16-4. Chicago 16-29-5 coming in. You look at that Blackhawks puck line at plus 2.5 right now. They are going to be about I want to say it's maybe 550. No, what is it? I got it here. Minus 145 for Chicago, plus 2.5. So, all right. Thanks for that, everybody. And Peaceful Looters here today, formerly known by other names, but I like this one the best now. Nasty Nate ain't tired. Jake here. 130 on that 2.5. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate that. All right, let's move on. We don't need to talk about that, but I'm taking Carolina in this one. I'll take a minus 1.5. All right. Next up is the Wild taking on the right. Nasty Nate, he's out there working like a boss, and I'm here. Oh, it's so exhausting to sit here for a full day's work and talk sports on the internet. All right, good game here, right, with the Wild and the Canadiens. Yeah, I said it. Good game. Now the Canadiens do feel like I've been all hype on my Canadiens here a little bit, but they've lost 3 in a row right now. Maybe we're starting to get back to the real Canadiens. They're obviously improved, but they lost to Winnipeg, New Jersey, and Detroit here for a 3-game losing streak right now. And as for the Wild, here, we know how they are, right? One of the best, most profitable teams in the league on the road. They're 19-5 on the road right now, you guys. Now they are just 9-12 as an underdog, and they're an underdog here. We just talked about the Canadiens taking the steam here. They're up to $1.30 or $1.35 here in this one right now, and the total is mostly 6 flat. Right now, maybe it's a little bit juiced to the over at some books. For example, I'm showing DraftKings is 6.5 under at minus 130. You know what? 9 hours will get your back going in this dumb chair I've got. But maybe I should have a Amazon wish list and somebody can buy me a chair. Well, what's that? There's a website where some of the, you can buy ladies things online, I think. All right, let's go here with the Wild. I just heard that. I heard about that. I don't know for sure. The Wild here, though, an underdog, right? One of the most profitable road teams in the league right now. An underdog here. Minnesota's won 17 of the last 18 meetings with the Canadiens. So, yeah, the Canadiens sucked. I get that. But Minnesota, they've been good. They've been good. They haven't been this good, right? This is a kind of, better than those Wild teams that had kind of been progressing, getting better, and they'd always kind of let down a little bit. But 17 of the last 18, no matter how you slice it, that's a pretty significant trend for sure. Now the teams don't meet that frequently here. That's almost a decade worth of sample size between the two teams, but nonetheless, Montreal has not fared well. Montreal has gone under in 5 straight games as a favorite coming into this one. You got the Canadiens here. Only the 4th time they've been favored this season. They went 0-2-1 to the under in those roles. Minnesota's slightly trending to the under this season. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. And you have Dubs here, one of the hot new young goalies in the league. We'll see if he's the real thing, is what it feels like here right now, right? Because we know that I think the goalies are confirmed here in this one. You got Marc-Andre Fleury in there for the Canadiens today. So they're going to go with Fleury in the pipes here in this one. He's 10-5-1, 2.76 ERA, allowed 5 goals in that loss to Calgary. Last time he was in there, and then Montembeault got the couple of wins. So you do have the backup in here, but he does have pretty good numbers, of course. For Dobbs here, he's undefeated. 5-0-1, 1.93 goals against average coming into this one. So this is a pretty good game here for sure tonight between Montreal and Minnesota. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what you guys have. I'm going under here at 6 goals. I had this one probably going to be a 5.5, but I don't know now. At 6, I want the under here in this one. I didn't even go to the chat yet. Let's see what you got. Matt says he's got some snow there in Colorado. Peaceful Looter wants the over in the Montreal game there. And here's Twisted. He says the Wild are they are pretty good, aren't they, right? And Toucan says he likes that they have Fleury going in this one. But he says still, I got to root for the Habs. Philly Eagle Flyer says full game, first period draw, go under 0-0 exact scoreline, first period, 1. I don't know what that is. 1 minus 1, 2. Full score lines, full game score lines, 1-1, 2-2. Tino's here. Hi, Tino. And Billy says, you can't take on a hurricane if you're the Blackhawks. Robert does like the under here with me in this one. I'll take the under, Minnesota and Montreal. Next up, got the Isles on the road here, taking on the Flyers, and the Islanders are a favorite here, $1.20, $1.25 here. The total 5.5, maybe shaded to the over here in this one as we look at Sorokin in goal there against Urson are the anticipated keepers, I think, here tonight. No, in fact, we've got confirmation here that Fedotov is in there for the Flyers. Let's update that. All right. Fedotov comes in here with a 4-6-3 record, a 3.22 goals against average. Sorokin, 2.81 goals against. If he's in there tonight, Islanders here on the road against the Flyers. So let's see what you guys might do in this matchup. You have a Philadelphia team that's lost 14 of the last 18 games to the Islanders overall. The Islanders are still 10-13 to the under in their 3-10 to the under in their last 13. We know they were going under there big time for quite a while. Who's hot? Islanders are hot. Hot as they've been here, it feels like in a couple of seasons with this winning streak, man. They're crushing opponents right now. Beat Colorado 5-2. They edged Carolina at home 3-2. They beat Philly last time out back on the 24th 3-1. They beat CBJ, covered the puck line as a favorite. They beat San Jose. Not tough, but they covered the puck line. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games overall. They are just 10-16 as a favorite, but the Flyers as a dog, 12-24. Islanders are 12-11 at home so far this season. So what do you have here when the Islanders tonight take on the Flyers? Flyers have covered the puck line in 6 of their last 7 games at home against the Islanders, but you got to lay $2 or more here with the Flyers on the puck line today. Philly has won 4 of their last 5 games at home, and the underdog has covered the puck line in the Flyers' last 12 games. The underdogs covered the puck line in the last 12 games. So, I don't know, could be a 1-goal game, I would guess. Flyers are 7-1 on the road, their last 8 games as a favorite. What are you going to do here, fam, with the Flyers here? And we're going to go with Jake says if it is Sorokin, he will take the Isles now that he knows that Fedotov is in there. Robert likes the under here in this one. Philly Eagle Flyer says he leans over in the first period and the full game, and Twisted likes the Islanders here, and so do I. I'll take the Islanders here over the Flyers tonight. All right. Next up, let me catch up on some steam here. We got about 5 or 6 games that have come in here, and then we'll wrap up the last 4 games on the ice. Wisconsin, Green Bay. Someone was talking about Coach Gottlieb earlier here, but we're seeing some steam on the under in this one with Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Oakland here tonight. This one was 138. We're seeing steam coming in right now. This one is live here. The rest of them are going to be a little bit stale, but 130 was 138, but right now it's 136 at Circus. We're seeing some steam. This is a series that definitely trends over when these two teams meet. We know Oakland has been kind of an over team in the past. I don't know if they are so much this season, but here's a steam to the under with Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Oakland. Tennessee State and Little Rock, steam here to the over in this one. Little Rock is kind of an under team at home in conference when favored, but long term anyway. But here's steam to the over right now with Tennessee State and Little Rock. It was 140, but right now this one has gone up to 141.5 at Bet Online. So steam to the over here, Tennessee State and Little Rock. Also, some steam came in here with Wilmington at home in their matchup today. Wilmington is taking on North Carolina A&T. They were as low as, maybe 11, maybe 10.5. Let me see what the actual line opened at. That's curious now. Open mostly 11 here, and the steam came in on Wilmington, but it hasn't affected them too much here. They're not. It's almost nondescript here. We'll make note of it because look, Wilmington's been a pretty solid. They've been a good cover. A&T not so much. These two teams have had a few overs for sure this year, right? But Wilmington took some steam. Let me get a better one here. They actually took Wilmington juiced up. Did the Sharps. Stony Brook took some steam in their matchup against Charleston. We already talked about that steam that came in on the under. Stony Brook's getting a bushel full here. They were getting 16. It's down to 15 here for the most part, with Stony Brook taking the steam against Charleston today. Also, play came in just moments ago. Irvine and Long Beach steam to the over here with the matchup tonight. Irvine on the road at the Pyramid, and it was 138.5, but we are seeing steam to the over in the matchup between the Anteaters and the 49ers. Right now it's up to 141 here at the book, just a couple of miles south of me that I like to hang out at. Pick up a little pizza at Pizza Rock. Come on back home and eat that delicious $35 pepperoni pizza. We need to win to get that. And this one's up to 141 with Irvine and Long Beach State. Good thing I only like pepperoni, or it cost me $45 probably. All right. It's not quite 30. It's almost is. You order delivery, it will be. All right. Here comes one right now, right this second. You heard it. Eastern Washington and Idaho State. Steam to the over here right now with Eastern Washington and Idaho State. Eastern Washington does have some long-term trends, conference dog here, but this one we're seeing some steam to the over right now with Eastern Washington and Idaho State. I'm showing it right now. It was 139, but right now it's gone up here to 140 at Bet Online. It's getting steamed right now to the over between Eastern Washington and Idaho State. The Eagles and the Bengals. All right, another one came in also just a few minutes ago with oh no, I think that's it. I think we are all caught up on the steam on that. Okay, fam, let's get back to the last four games here on the ice. So I went under on the game between Montreal and Minnesota. It should be noted that there was steam on that game on the over, and that took it from 5.5 to mostly 6s. Man, I really almost like a premium there, but I just gave it out, so I feel like it's a pretty strong play. We just did get the goalies there. We were talking about it. Sorokin is confirmed in goal for the Islanders here, and we did get the goalies there. Oh, we knew that one. I think there was one more where we got the goalies. We got one goalie in anyway. It is Forsberg will start for Ottawa tonight. So I think we had Merlanen in there, right, for Ottawa. But we do know this also, that Ullmark has been, he is upgraded to questionable. So Merlanen's done a great job. Forsberg's going to start today, but Ullmark could be nearing a return here. So Merlanen's been good. We'll see what the Senators do, though, in the days to come. That's a good situation to have. Senators feel like they got some decent goaltending. All right, we got a little bit of breaking news here right now as John Morant is going to be listed as questionable for the game tonight. This one just in. We are seeing some line movement with this injury of note. I did recommend the under in that game. The line was 5, but it's going to be down to 4.5 here right now. Some books are taking off the board to readjust as John Morant is listed now as questionable with a shoulder injury tonight in the game against Houston. All right. I think we're ready to resume action here right now on the ice. Let's get to it with
System play.
We're leading it. We're next up is Red Wings and Oilers here in this one. You got Talbot and Skinner, I guess, expected here is what I'm showing right now. In this one, you have the Oilers here minus 265. The total 6.5 under 15. That's a pretty stiff price. Detroit's still over 500, 24, 21, and 5. Edmonton's won 3 straight. Detroit's won 3 straight. Coming into this one, you've got Edmonton here off wins over Seattle, Buffalo, and Vancouver. Not the toughest schedule last couple of games, but Detroit beat LA, Tampa Bay, and Montreal. Those are a little stiffer competition for the Red Wings here of late. Red Wings are 6-3-1 in their last 10 games overall. Edmonton here, I think the puck line's how you want to look at some of the numbers. Edmonton just 9-18 at home on the puck line. That's not going to get you anything here, even if they were even money on the puck line at home tonight. Meanwhile, Detroit's 25-11 on the puck line coming into this one. Seems hard to fathom that even the awesome Oilers would be such a massive favorite against a team playing pretty good, it feels like, in the Detroit Red Wings. So let's see what you want to do in this one tonight with Detroit on the road against the Red Wings. I mean, look, I get it. You got Edmonton here, 14-2 in their last 16 games at home. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. So let's see if you can still maybe try Detroit here. I kind of want to. Detroit still won 11 of their last 15 games overall. They're 4-1 on the puck line in their last 5 games. Edmonton's gone under in 9 of their last 10 games at home coming into this one. So let's see what you guys have here. Detroit, pretty good on this puck line for sure, given this price currently right now. I'm showing it here with the Oilers, pretty much a pick 'em. They're minus 1.5 at minus 105 here at Bovada. Pardon me, you guys. And Detroit minus $1.15. So I got to try these Red Wings here right now in this matchup. I'll try the Wings plus a goal and a half at minus $1.15, $1.20, $1.10, whatever it is. So go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one. And let's see. Jerry was saying, don't get it. LR is a dead nuts under team. That's LR. All right. Let's see. Hey, Dana's got his college basketball. We're going to get to the college basketball here in just a moment. And Bill says the Islanders are struggling here. And Philly Eagle Flyer says he thinks Lindgren will be in there for the Caps tonight. Let me refresh that. Definitely got to know. Now, look, it doesn't mean that, Lindgren is a pretty good second option for sure, right? We said Forsberg was likely here. I'll keep going here. Tino had the Warriors last night over the Thunder there. He also had the Nets. Good job, Tino. And let's see here. And what else? I think I missed you guys there. Under for Matt D. Philly Eagle Flyer leaning to the over trifecta. Jake Dye, Edmonton. Oh, he's leaning there. Billy says he liked that trip by Trump to the Circa Hotel. Yeah, he did come to the Circa. That was really awesome, and met with the owner of the Circa, Derek Stevens. Really cool guy, man. This guy is really down to earth. He had a chance to he sits up there in the circuit and his little thing. You can go up there and talk to him and meet him and everything. Really swell guy. Jake Dye likes Little Rock. Thanks, Jake. Well, we mentioned it, so I got to pay attention if I'm going to sit here. Hey, Calgary's getting steamed. We're going to get to that game next. Here, I'm taking Detroit. Let's move on to the next game because Calgary's getting steamed right now. Let's get Twisted's play in there. He likes Red Wings puck line with me, lean to the under. And, yeah, Billy, that was cool with seeing President Trump going to the Circa. I was looking to see, I wanted to see if he went into the sports book. I did see some interviews with the general manager or the vice president of the Circa, but I never saw a video. I want to see Trump's reaction if he walked into that awesome sports book at the Circa. If it wasn't downtown, I would go there every night. But I am I'm south of everything. I'm south. I wouldn't dox myself here, but I am close. I'm closer to like I said, I go to the South Point. I go to the Green Valley Ranch Stations Casino. So that's pretty much where I go. All right. Here's the Ducks and the Flames. I said the Flames just got steamed here, and they're $1.70 here or more right now. More $1.85 at some books right now for the Calgary Flames here. Let me update that for sure. $1.85, and the total here in this one is 6 under. 6 under. Wow, 6 under now. And not 5.5, and the Ducks and the Flames, really? Okay. Well, maybe there's going to be some goals here tonight with the Ducks and the Flames. A little bit of steam right now. I'm going to preempt here. Good game tonight with Illinois and Nebraska. We're seeing the steam come in here on this one with Illinois and Nebraska tonight. Showing it right now. Steam to the under here in this one. It was 154.5. We're down to 153 right now. Steam to the under. It actually went up and now back down here in Nebraska. Definitely, can go under a little bit in this type of role when they are at home as an underdog in conference play. We'll get to that preview here in just a moment. We're almost done with the NHL here with the Ducks and the Flames. So, yeah, interesting move here on the total going over right now because the Ducks have been so solid to the under, right? Both these teams. They are a combined 38 and 57 to the under this season. Anaheim's 18 and 27 to the under as an underdog, but the steam came in there on Calgary. Up to $1.85 or so right now. So let's see what you want to do here in this one. We got probably here, I'm showing the goaltending. Could be Dostal, could be Wolf here. Oh, no, could be. I've got Gibby. I think it's going to be Gibby tonight in goal, but some of the sites are showing Dostal here. But I'm going to stick to my guns maybe here on this one with Calgary here at home. This is tricky because Anaheim's pretty good on the puck line actually of late. But maybe the value is going to be with Anaheim here a little bit right now. But Calgary the Ducks don't own any series. We know that. But Calgary has won 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams. Should be noted that Calgary's gone under in 11 straight division games. Now, I'm not one that says, when Calgary plays the Metro division or Calgary plays, the other divisions. But I think when you play in division, the trend is something to look at. And that's what you have here with Calgary going under in 11 straight division games. And Anaheim, certainly a solid under as well. But the total's gone up. So I get it. The Sharps are probably on it here a little bit. Calgary's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two, 11 of the last 13, as I said, but Anaheim's covered 4 of the last 5 puck lines in here, and they've been an underdog every time, so they do hang with Calgary for sure. Anaheim is a wild 31 and 16 on the puck line. And we know they can't score very well. last in the league in scoring here as well, but the total was going up. Anaheim is profitable on the road. They're winning you more than a quarter of a unit every game. Calgary's profitable at home. They're winning you about 20 cents on the dollar as well. So it is a little bit interesting. I think that line move, man, is a little bit disturbing, no doubt about it. So let's see what you got here. All of a sudden, it's become a little more interesting with this move here to the favorite. Hit the likes button, Spoons. Hey, I want to tell everyone to check out Spoons tomorrow on channel across the street. He's going to be analyzing his plays. I think it's college hoop, right? Spoons. I'm going to be checking it out for sure. Now I know the show kind of sometimes starts and I'm on the air. I might have to watch it on tape delay. But I'm going to watch Spoons tomorrow, and I want you guys to do so as well and be on with JTB, the legend. So cool, Spoons. I was really excited when you told me that. Maybe he's been on before, and I just missed it. So, let me wrap up this. We'll get into college basketball, and that way we'll get this steam going here. Gibby, Flames, team total over. There, 3.5. Twisted here. Flames puck line leans to the over. Nasty Nate loves going to the pool at the Circa. And Anaheim, Jake says the road team does very, very well in this series between Anaheim and Calgary. And Billy says, Morant, right? We already know that. I believe this would do it. Or Billy, was it this game or has he already passed it? Josh, John Morant cannot be an all NBA player this year because he will not play enough games. I think that's criteria. He cannot make the all NBA team because of his limited amount of participation. I don't know if it's just first team. I think it's a team in general, and that's an official award. So, all right. Oh man, I really torn here in this one. And look, I don't know if I can't necessarily lay $1.85. It feels like, but gosh, Anaheim does hang here in this matchup for sure. I don't want to lay the puck line or anything, so help. All right. Well, look, like I said, 31-16 is hard to pass up. Give me the Anaheim Ducks on the puck line here in this one. All right, we got a couple more here. We got the Blue Jackets taking on the Golden Knights. We got another 250 favorite here in this one. And the total here is 6.5. Under, juice to the under here. Vegas at home. Look, Columbus still 24-19 on the road. Vegas here has alternated wins and losses over the past few games for sure. They've been up and down in this one, but for Vegas here, they are 22-17 as a puck line favorite, 17-10 as a puck line favorite on the at home. Meanwhile, Columbus just 11-14 as a puck line favorite on the road here, but they are 25-15 as a puck line favorite as a dog. The steam came in on the over in this game, as I said a few moments ago. So let's see what you guys might like in this one with Columbus and Vegas. Columbus is 9-2 on the puck line in their last 11 games overall, but they still are a losing proposition on the road. They cost you a quarter of a unit every game. Meanwhile, Vegas will get you nearly a quarter of a unit every game. Vegas has gone under in 12 of their last 16 games at home. Columbus has gone under in 7 of their last 8 games overall. Now, Columbus has gone over in 23 of their 43 games as an underdog. Let's go to the chat here in this one. You've got tonight. I'm showing. Oh, I don't have the Golden Knights goaltending situation there, but I think it's going to be Samsonov here. Samsonov as the goalie. There we go. against Elvis, who will be in the building tonight. Elvis is 18-11 with a 2.95 goals against. Samsonov 12-6 with a 2.94 goals against average here in this one. See what you guys have tonight with Vegas here at home. Somebody wants to take me to the game, I'd be okay with that. I have not been to a Golden Knights game here despite my third year in Vegas. What am I doing? I just sit here and, hey, I hooked up my aerial antenna so I can at least watch all the games. I cannot. After the first season here, I couldn't watch any games. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I mean, I did watch it on some illegal streams or whatever, but I'm like, man, I'd like to watch it not on a computer. But I realized then that it's on regular aerial antenna every game. No one told me. Folks, the Golden Knights are getting steamed right now. You might have heard in the background, steam. Remember when I took the computer yesterday and I said, look, it is right now. Just trust me. I don't want to pick up the computer again and show you. But you can see it on the lines right now. 270 at Circa, 280 at Bet Online, 260 at Bovada. Give me the Golden Knights. I'll chase this team. That's what I'm going to chase here. Give them to me on the puck line tonight. I'll take the Golden Knights and lay a puck and a half in this one now. Boy, they're probably going to be laying $1.40 or $1.50 here right now. But that move, $1.15 here at Bovada, it looks like $1.12. I'm taking the Golden Knights right now. All right. Cash Kane likes Vegas. Jake likes Columbus. And he also says, sprinkle that draw. Matt D says, yep, Las Vegas. Bill Eagle Flyer, first period over. Let's go to the last game and wrap up the activity here in the NHL with the Sharks and the Kraken. Can't spell Kraken without Shark. No, almost. All right. You got the Sharks here, 15-32-6. The Kraken are 22-27-3. San Jose won their last game, folks. Hats off. They beat Pittsburgh at home 2-1. Seattle has lost 2 straight in 3 of their last 4. They lost to Anaheim last out, 6-4. They also lost to Edmonton here, but still, Seattle's going to be a $2 favorite or so, and the total's about 6 here right now. I'm showing a little bit of a move to the under at Bovada right now, but still feels like about right there, 6 under 15, maybe 6 flat. See one book at 6 under 35. So, or I'm sorry, 6.5 under 35. So let's see here with the matchup tonight between the Golden Knights taking on, with the Kraken. Funny, right? I missed the obvious punchline with the Knights of Columbus. If you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. For Seattle here, let's see. They are San Jose. They are 2-10 in their last 12 games on the road here right now. And they're in their matchups against Seattle. San Jose has won 4 of the last 5 games against the Kraken coming in. You have the Kraken. They are just 6-10 as a puck line favorite. San Jose's 31-22 as a puck line dog. So what are you going to do in this one? San Jose, we're wrapping it up here. San Jose's covered 4 of the last 5 puck lines against Seattle. And let's see what you have here in this one. And we're done with the hockey. We got to go. Kraken -1.5 here for Cash Kane. Matt likes Seattle to win in regulation. That'll get the price down. Me and Robert, we're on the same thing here. I'm going to take the Sharks on the puck line in this one. Let's go. We're going to go to the basketball here. Philly Eagle Flyer, first period, full game draw under. Also, he likes a parlay here with under 6.5, heavily juiced. The president is speaking right now regarding probably he'll probably talk about he's talking about the plane crash, and then he's probably going to mix it in with the confirmation hearings of all of his appointees, which is actually a terrible look. But as long as he could rescue my Trump coin from losing all this money I've lost on the Trump coin. All right. Jake Dye leaning Seattle money line and over. All right, that's it for the hockey. Thanks, everybody. Let's go to basketball quickly here. It's already bottom of the hour here. We've got definitely a lot of games to cover on Mid-Major Thursday, sponsored by Germain. But we're going to start with a little bit more steam, and then we're going to roll through these games relatively quickly like we always do. Northern Kentucky and
Steam playing.
well, William and Mary and Campbell will steam to the over here coming in right this second. We're seeing the steam. We already talked about, didn't we? The steam came in on William and Mary earlier. Well, now here's steam to the over in the game between William and Mary and Campbell. William and Mary in conference play on the road, they sometimes go under, but this is steam to the over here with William and Mary and Campbell. It was William and Marion Campbell. Sounds like Marion Campbell. In this game right now, it was 153.5, but it's up to 155 at circa right now. Steam to the over, William and Marion Campbell. Also, just moments ago, it was Northern Kentucky and Detroit. Steam to the over in this one. It was 131, but we saw the steam to the over. These two teams maybe have had a couple of unders in their games this year for the most part, but Northern Kentucky is a road conference favorite. They've definitely had some overs over the last couple of seasons. Right now, the steam came in on the over here in the matchup between Northern Kentucky and Detroit. I'm showing it right now up to 132.5. That's a 1.5 point move to the over with Northern Kentucky and the Detroit Titans. Abilene Christian and Cal Baptist steam to the over in this one. This is kind of an under series when these two teams meet, but the steam's coming in on the over between Abilene Christian and CBU. It was 136, but right now we're seeing that steam coming in on the under, and right now it is up to 137.5 between Abilene Christian and Cal Baptist. Also, there was some steam that came in on Portland State and Montana. Game total to go over here. Portland State in conference play as a dog. They sometimes go under here for sure last couple of seasons, but we're seeing steam to the over here right now with Portland State and Montana. It was 145, but right now it's up to 147 at circa 1.5 or a 2 point move here for sure on the over with Portland State and Montana. UL Monroe and South Alabama steam to the under here in this one. It was 134.5 or so. Look, I think we've seen unders with the Monroe and Alabama, these two this year. A little bit of steam, though, here to the under as well. It was right now the current line is 133. So definitely a move here to the under, about a 1 point move. But that's one of the one with some unders for sure with those two teams, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I think I got one or two more, and we're going to run down the basketball. Sacramento State took the steam here in this one. It was plus 12 for Sacramento State, but now it's down to 11 or so as we see Sacramento State taking the steam in their matchup today on the road at Montana State, down to 11.5, maybe even move to 11 here by the time this one goes. All right, let's go to the action here right now with Ohio State and Penn State. We already mentioned that steam that came in right to the over at 151 earlier between these two teams, but let's take a look at the matchup in its entirety here and see what you like in the matchup between Ohio State and Penn State. Decent matchup here in College Station tonight. Can dial up a few trends here while we take a look at this one. The Bucks come in 12-8 overall. Penn State 13-8 overall coming into this one. Current standings in the Big Ten right now show these two teams kind of in the middle of the pack for sure. In fact, Penn State's having a rough go of it at 3-7 overall, but nonetheless, decent matchup here with Penn State, just a 3-point favorite against the Bucks tonight. Don't worry, Jermaine, we got some mid-major coming up, but in this one, let's see here. I'm going to be on the Bucks here, I believe, on the road. Get some trends here maybe that can help me out in this one. Penn State definitely strong at home right now, having won 14 of their last 16 games overall coming into this one. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. It's definitely an over series between these two. The Sharps are clearly on Penn State here, but I can't do it. I'm going to go with Ohio State in this one, plus the points on the road. All right, Jerry's got all of his plays here, so let me leave that up there. If he's going to take the time to type all this in, I can't let him down. I got to leave these up there. If you like what Jerry Davis is doing, 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Like I said, 9 of the last 11 overall. 4 of the last 5 at PSU. Jake likes PSU. Robert does like the under here. He's not fazed by that season series here right now. Look, Penn State, I would say they usually have less than 151 points. Let's take a look at some of these matchups recently. The Michigan game was 148. Iowa was 151. Rutgers 152. They've been going over this number for the most part, but I kind of think that well, maybe that's just this season there. I'm gonna go with the side in this one and try to figure it out. I'm gonna take Ohio State in this one. Penn State for Cash Kane. Next up is, hey, Jermaine, let's go to this one between
Final.
Liberty and Kennesaw here in this one. Pretty good game as we head out to Conference USA, believe it or not, right? It takes me a while to figure it out where the teams are anymore, but just shows you how far along these programs have come. We're in Conference USA, and for this one, look, you got Cleveland and Aquino. You know what you're getting with Liberty, it feels like, with these two guys. Liberty right now in 4th place, but just a game back of the Wild Conference USA. You got 3 teams at 5-2, and you got 3 teams at 4-3 coming into this one, including both of these teams, Kennesaw and Liberty, here trying to. One team's going to move ahead. They're both 4-3 in conference play coming into this one. So let's see what you might like here. You got Liberty on the road, a 3-point favorite. We said that steam did come in on the over. It was 145. Now we're up to 147 here with Liberty and Kennesaw. Liberty comes in 16-4 overall. Kennesaw is 12-8 overall. So the bananas will be out there today. You know what I mean? Those fans that wear they probably shouldn't wear those banana costumes, but 7-1 at home for Kennesaw State, but Liberty is 6-2. 7-1 against the spread at home for Kennesaw State, but Liberty is 6-2 against the spread on the road. Kennesaw is undefeated at home at 9-0, but Liberty is 4-1 straight up on the road. So pretty decent game for sure here in Conference USA tonight. Closely rated, should be exciting. And let's see if you guys like this one with Liberty and Kennesaw. I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys have here. Liberty is 9-4. To the over. We said that steam came in on the over, but I'm not sure here. And let's take a look. Robert likes the over in this one. And I got to update that, by the way. Thank you, Robert. Bad bookmaking. I just let Robert get a 2-point cushion on me there. All right. Liberty is the right side, but Kennesaw State can jump up and bite you at home. I'm going to take Kennesaw State then, Jerry. And here's Robert. He likes Kennesaw with me. Jerry likes the under. And good morning to Kelly. She says she likes Minnesota in that game. You got Fleury here, wrapping up a great career, getting that start tonight. Thank you, Kel. All right, I'm going to take Kennesaw on this one. South Dakota State, North Dakota State for Jermaine here in this one, right? You got another good matchup here in this one. We get the action from the game. Let's take a look at the matchup here. Oh, lost my place here. Let's go to the Summit League standings and take a look what we're dealing with here with these two. Both teams come in 5-2 in conference play. North Dakota State 16-6 coming in. South Dakota State 14-8. Of course, you got Oscar Cliff, the star for South Dakota State, leading candidate for the Player of the Year. But you also have my man Jackson Money here for North Dakota State, and Jakari White also. You know, they probably got the more talented players here. They're favored by 3 points in this one. Look at that total, 154 in this one right now. Let me see if it's moved up. Currently, I'm showing the line is 155. So, yeah, moved up a little bit of a tick here. That's where I'm headed. I'm going over with North Dakota State and South Dakota State in this one. See if you guys agree with me or have a play here with North Dakota State coming in here. Right now, they are 12-7 against the spread overall. South Dakota State's 3-6 against the spread on the road. So I'm going to take the over, though. You have North Dakota State 13-5 to the over this season, 8-3 to the over as a favorite. South Dakota State is 3-6 to the under on the road, but they are 4-2 against the spread as a dog. I'm going to take the over with South Dakota State and North Dakota State. Go to the chat, see anybody have anything here. Jerry says he'll take North Dakota State, but it should be a tough game. Maybe North Dakota State just has a little bit more talent, I think is what he's saying there. So I'm going to take the over, though. I think it's going to be I probably agree, Jerry. In fact, this one is going to be a candidate for a premium play, actually. Might see that on my card. For you subscribers, anyway. Here is Illinois taking on Nebraska. We mentioned this one took that steam to the under here with Illinois and Nebraska. And look, I think Nebraska in a lot of these home games in the last year or two, they definitely kind of go under this number here. We saw the steam went from 154 to 154.5 to 153. Maybe it's bounced back up a little bit. Now, it does feel like this Nebraska losing streak isn't necessarily anything to panic about. They played some tough teams, no doubt. You look at these losses they've had: Wisconsin, USC, Maryland, Rutgers, Purdue, but they're not covering numbers either right now. But still, Illinois just 2-5 against the spread. If anything, they've been kind of a disappointment to a certain extent in some of these. Because they're a pretty good team. I mean, they're 14-6, but they've lost 2 of their last 3. They did win last time out against Northwestern, 83-74. I had Northwestern in that game, and I was mad because Northwestern, I felt like they were going to cover most of the way, but it didn't quite work out. And they ended up getting the money, did Illinois, in that one. So let's see what you have here in this one with Nebraska at home. You just look at some of these Nebraska games, at home. Look, it's a 150. What did I say it was? 150. Is it still 153? I mean, look, it's definitely trending under. And you look at some of these scores. I'm going to give them to you here right now. 150. No, 155 now. Oh, Yeah, that's right. The steam came in on the under, and it's back up to 155 here. Look at some of these Nebraska games of late. The game against Wisconsin, 138. USC 151, Maryland 138. Now Rutgers game was high, so was Purdue. All right, I'm taking the Cornhuskers here plus the points. I'm going to take Nebraska. Illinois is a big disappointment too, against the spread anyway. And now Illinois is already 14-6 right now. I mean, they're falling down the standings too here of late in the Big Ten, it feels like right now. So I'm going to take Nebraska here to stop this. Well, I'll take them plus the points, but I'm going to sprinkle the money line here. 6 in a row right now, losses for Nebraska here, but I'm taking them. Come on, Mayor. Let's get it home. Nebraska is currently 2-7 in conference play, way down there. Illinois still 6-4, but I'm taking the Huskers here in this one. I know people are going to be on Illinois, but I'm taking Nebraska. Jerry says it is desperate. They've got to start winning some games or they ain't going anywhere, right? Robert's on Nebraska with me. Jerry says, if it goes over, it's a blowout. That's interesting because I think I'm favoring the under. Let me look at my numbers actually on that. That is a great, interesting point. Okay, now I'm going to hold off on that right now with the total. Just give me Nebraska here in this one. All right. Rolling through here. Show's almost over. Thank you, everybody. Here we go with Cleveland State and Fort Wayne. Jermaine, are you out there? All right. Let's take a look here. Good game tonight with these two. Feels like an important game anyway coming into this one with Cleveland State and Purdue in the horizon. Take a look at the standings right now. Cleveland State 10-1. They're on that big winning streak right now, having won. How many is it? Well, it's 12 in a row. They did play one non-D1 game, but I don't care about that. They're rolling here. They're 10-1 in conference since they lost that first game in conference play. And right now, Fort Wayne is 8-3, so give them credit as well. But they'll have to come up with some magic with Jalen Jackson and company for Fort Wayne. Of course, Tevin Smith of Cleveland State. Let's take a look here and see if we can formulate a play between these two. Good game here tonight. And we'll see what you guys have in this matchup with Cleveland State and Purdue. Fort Wayne. Go to the chat here real quick and get the plays. We've got to finish this show up here this morning. Cleveland State comes in 16-6. Fort Wayne comes in 15-7. Both teams are 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games, respectively. Cleveland State 7-2 against the spread on the road. Fort Wayne is undefeated at home, 9-0, but Cleveland's just 5-4 straight up on the road in this one. Jerry says it's a smash spot for Fort Wayne. Robert likes Fort Wayne and over. Well, if Robert likes the over, I like the over in this one. I'll choose the over, I think, over the side at this time and go over this 148 or so right now. I'm showing it maybe even 149 at a few spots here at this point with Fort Wayne. I just think Fort Wayne has definitely been playing over this number. Let me take a look at some of these recent games here and see how they're going, because they definitely have gone over this number, right? Let me see. 148, 148.5. They just went for 171 at home. Of course, the Wright State game, we know what happened there. It was 233 points, but we had a big overtime game up there in that one for sure. But just Fort Wayne in these last few games at home, 157 against Detroit, 151 against Milwaukee. You got to give me the over in this one here, even at 148. All right, Kelly's liking the dogs here. Jerry says Cleveland has the easy strength of schedule so far that's really kind of helped them overall. Cleveland State and Fort Wayne have played the bottom two schedules so far in conference play. It does make you think that maybe there's a chance for someone like Milwaukee here 2 games back, but I'm not sure. It's getting late in this season, believe it or not. Jerry says he thinks Cleveland State's more of an under team. Yeah, no doubt, 8-11 to the under this season, but Fort Wayne, like I said, 7-2 to the over at home for Fort Wayne. Memphis is taking on Tulane here tonight in this one. You've got Tulane at home. They're a 6.5-point dog here to Memphis. And, hey, you can't be sleeping, I don't think, on Tulane in this spot, right? Yeah, Memphis is looking, well, I don't know about that. They're up and down for sure. It feels like when I'm on them, maybe I've had trouble figuring out Memphis. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They've won 3 straight games here right now, but come on, Tulane at home in this matchup feels pretty okay. Memphis is just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Tulane 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. Tulane has gone under 2-7-1 at home this season. Memphis is 3-7 to the under on the road. And this one, though, I might be not going with the trends, it feels like, in this one. Let's see what you guys have, though, with Memphis and Tulane tonight. Maybe I can look at some trends here to kind of get me in the right direction, because I want to go over, but the teams are definitely showing under. Tulane's covered the spread in 5 of the last 6 meetings at home between these two teams. They've also won 15 of the last 19. Memphis has, anyway, 15 of the last 19 overall. Tulane's won 5 straight at home right now. They're 9-2 at home this season. I'm going over here with Memphis and Tulane, but I might like the Green Wave here tonight. They just beat Rice 82-71 in a near pick'em game. They covered against Temple as a dog. They beat FAU by 15 at home as a 2-point dog. So I'm going to go over, but I might like the Green Wave here. Jerry says Tulane and sprinkle. Cash Kane's got Tulane, and Robert's got Tulane. That looks like Thomas, you awake? Might be Tulane here. Kelly says Indy, NJIT, and Pacific as her 3 dogs of the night. Did I just say that? Kelly's got a 3-dog night. I think Kelly might know what I'm talking about. All right, got a few more here with Northridge taking on Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is a 1-point favorite in this one. The total is 146. As we head out to the Big West on mid-major Thursday here. And in this one, we've got Northridge here. Santa Barbara's won 4 of their last 5 at home right now. Northridge comes into this one with a record currently of 13-7. Santa Barbara's 13-7. Take a look at the Big West standings here right now. And I'm showing currently it is Northridge is 5-4. Santa Barbara is also 5-4, as these two are tucked in the middle of the stand. They have exact records overall, and they have exact records in conference play. Northridge, though, is slightly the better spread team. They're 7-5 against the spread on the road. UCSB is just 5-9-1 as a favorite so far this season, but still Santa Barbara at home. They're 8-3 overall. CSUN is just 2-4 straight up on the road. I don't know if I can get away from this Santa Barbara as a near pick'em here today in this one. Northridge has covered 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but I might be on Santa Barbara here. I'm just going to check one more thing and make the call. If not, I'm going to pivot to the total, but pretty sure I'm on Santa Barbara here in their matchup with Northridge. For sure. In fact, it should be a premium, but I picked this game out because it's a decently competitive game, pretty evenly matched. So, all right, what do we got here? We've got Cash Kane likes Santa Barbara. Robert McCormick likes Santa Barbara. Jerry's on Northridge, though. And Jerry says wrong team's favored. Yeah, well, Santa Barbara favored here definitely by 1 point. Actually, 2 now. Santa Barbara's favored by 2. And Santa Barbara and Northridge, are they close to each other? I'm gonna say without checking, I'm gonna guess it. I'm gonna guess the distance and then I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna say Santa Barbara and Northridge 40. I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 38 miles. Okay, let's check it out. That was without Googling. Santa Barbara to Northridge. I'm saying 35 miles. I'm from Southern California. I better get this one right. $85 miles. Okay. Yeah. Oh, man. I was thinking that Santa Barbara was a little bit further south than Northridge. Okay. I missed. I lost the directional challenge. Thank you. Jerry said 20. Jerry, you lost more than I did. No, I think he's making a joke here. He says 25 miles for 2 hours. We know it doesn't take 2 hours to travel 25 miles unless you're in LA. I think that's what Jerry's saying. I think he's making it funny. Okay. The map says, right? So the map says 85 miles or an hour and 24 minutes. Probably more like 3 hours. Okay, Steam came in, Missouri, Kansas City, and Denver. Steam to the under in that one with Kansas City and Denver. It was 133. But we're seeing some steam to the under here with Kansas City and Denver right now. That total is going down to 132. Seconds ago, more steam came in here with IU Indianapolis and Robert Morris as we go to a game here. It was 145.5. We're seeing steam to the under here. We've seen these teams have a couple of overs in their respective seasons so far, right? IU Indianapolis and Robert Morris, but right now that steam is coming in on the under, and it's currently at 144. Steam to the under there, 1.5 move to the under with IU Indianapolis and Bobby Morris. Also, Southern Utah and Arlington took some steam in their matchup. It was 147, but steam came in on the over with Southern Utah and UT Arlington. Steam to the over there, and right now I'm showing it at 148 in that matchup between Southern Utah and Texas Arlington. Also, some steam came in on that game between Georgia Southern and Troy. We know Georgia Southern already got steam from 12.5 to 11.5, and then here came the steam on the over. This one was 143 between Georgia Southern and Troy, but now we're seeing this one up to 144.5 in this matchup, about a 1.5 move to the over with Georgia Southern and Troy. All right. We're just about done. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Here, Jerry likes UMKC and over. Kelly, that's what in Southern California it takes in LA it takes a long time to go a short distance. All right. That's why Kobe took the helicopter, I got to be honest with you. All right, Oregon and UCLA here in this one. You got the Bruins at home, favored. They're playing better, man. It's all kumbaya right now, it sounds like, for UCLA. All of a sudden, coach went off on them, and we made fun of him, but looking pretty much better here right now. That total, though, is just a typo. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Let me fix that. It's about 140.5. It's not 148, or we'd be all over the under. It's 140.5. I can see Bobby Mack right now. Oh, 140 under Ramon. All right, here we go. 4.5-point favorite, 140.5. Good one here tonight. UCLA's won 4 straight all of a sudden. Get them back in SoCal, and I think that's what happens here. Maybe they're kind of crummy in some of those road games back east, huh? They've won 4 straight against Iowa and Wisconsin at home, Washington, USC on the road. Oregon comes in here right now off of a loss at Minnesota. Now we're back to playing UCLA here a week later. See what you guys want to do here. We're wrapping up the card. We got to get out of here, man. 3 hours tonight again. UCLA is 11-1 in their last 12 games at home. This overall, dating back to last year, they're actually 10-1, I believe, at home so far this season. Oregon is 3-0 straight up as an underdog. They come in 16-4 right now, ranked 16th in the country. Spread-wise, Oregon also is 3-0 against the spread as an underdog so far this season. Both teams kind of trending over of late. UCLA has gone over in 7 of their last 10. Oregon's gone over in 8 of their last 11 games on the road. But come on, I think what UCLA might be doing more defensively here, I might want to go under in this one. This series history is definitely an under, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check this out. And that's kind of what I want to favor here when these two teams meet. I think the way that these two teams have played each other in the past few games. Let me see. They did go over in their last matchup in December, 73-71. It was 134 though last season. The two matchups, 130. They met 3 times last season, including the conference tournament. 134, 134, and 123. I think I want under here, though. The two teams are going over here right now, slightly for sure, but I'm going to go under in this one. 7 of the last 8 meetings, other than that game, let's see. Other than that game in December, now it was the last meeting, but the previous 7 games before that were all under 140 points. I'm going under here as my play with Oregon and UCLA tonight. I might be wrong there, but we got to wrap this show up. All right, Robert's on the Bruins here. And Kelly says you got some injury woes to worry about here with the Bruins today. So I kind of still want to be on the Bruins here a little bit. They are a 4.5 point favorite for sure coming into this one. But check it out here. I'm going to look that up with Big Kelly and make sure we know what's going on in this one with the Bruins, with Billadou here. He did miss part of the last game, right? And I'm still showing him as questionable here in this game, but that sounds like pretty good info for sure. So, all right, give me the under, though, in this one, Oregon and UCLA. All right, I got one more, and then we're out of here. I'm going to go to the islands tonight with my UC San Diego Tritons taking on the Hawaii Warriors tonight. Good game here. This is a big one also in the Big West here tonight. So let's take a look at this one with UC San Diego and Hawaii. We already looked at one Big West game, but UC San Diego is just a game out of first place coming into this one. Hawaii's 4-5. UCSD's had a pretty strong season, but how will they do when they go to the islands tonight? UCSD's won two straight coming into this one. UCSD is the school for the smart kids in San Diego. And even though I didn't go to UCSD, I hung out with the smart kids. And when I was in my, 20 years old range, that's where we went to party. We partied with the smart kids. It wasn't that great. You went to San Diego State, you really, partied a little harder, but UCSD, the parties were a little more tame. That was probably more my speed. So UCSD is 7-2 against the spread on the road here. They are 8-5 to the over as a favorite, and I kind of want to take UCSD. I mean, Tate Jones is a conference player of the year candidate for sure. Also, they got Tyler McGee's my guy there as well. And of course, God, I can't think of the other guys. I can't think of the other guy's name right now. And I watch this team every game, but that's because the show's over and I'm tired. Give me the over in this one between UC San Diego and Hawaii tonight on the islands. I'll probably just bet San Diego State and root for them, but they are a pretty big favorite here, even against Hawaii. And there's all kinds of traps, right, when you go to the islands. So we'll see, but give me the over tonight with UCSD and Hawaii. I got to wrap up this show and do the drawing. Type in something in the chat. Type in anything in the chat. Type in chat. Oh, I want to add this. I'm sorry, it is 9 o'clock and the tea times have gone off, so it's not going to help you out for the matchups. I blew this one. I did tell you to go to winnable.com, but I want to mention this real quick as we get ready for the drawing here, but go to winnable.com for my plays here. And I forgot to mention, get the free subscription because my golf plays, you guys, they just teed off 30 minutes ago and I've got my top golfers and I'm not going to read them off here on the show. I want you to subscribe to my free picks over there. So head on over there right now. I've got 7 golfers for the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. You can use them in outright winner, top 5s, top 10s, top 20s. You can still get on those. Obviously, can't get in on any full tournament groups, matchups, or first rounders. Maybe you could. I don't know all the tee times. They've only been a half an hour. I'm sure there are some other matchups. So go to winnable.com if you want my golf plays today. I've got 7 golfers lined up, ranging from 20-1 to 150-1. I'm laying off Scotty coming in off the injury. Remember, Scotty was injured in December in his kitchen. You know how they always say, why can't these athletes get an Uber when they're drunk drive? Well, why can't a guy like Scotty Scheffler get a guy to help him cut the damn cucumber? Anyways, if you want my golf plays here, go over to winnable.com/Ramon and you can get my golf here. I got 7 golfers. I like my card here this week in golf. So please check me out over at winnable.com to get my plays. I'm not going to read them off. You got to get my subscription over there at winnable.com. Click the QR code in the lower left-hand corner of the screen if you want to my golfer. If you got your own golfers, fine. Put them in the chat. Let me see who you got. If anybody puts a golfer in the chat that I have, I'll say I have them. But I'm fading Scotty Scheffler this week. He punctured his hand with a knife, I think is what happened. So check me out over at winnable.com. Let's do the drawing. Let's get it on, so to speak. Here. I did hear a Steam play here right now. Let me see if we got something good, and I'll read it off to you. Cal Poly in Bakersfield, Steam to the over. Let me bring myself back on screen here at least. Type in something in the chat. Everybody, anything, just anything, chat, anything, UCSD, lay it. Let me go to bring it up here. There we go. A few more comments from you here real quick. All right. Thank you, Kelly, for stopping by. Robert, you're already in. You guys are already in. You don't have to type in any. I know you're just having fun with me now, Jason as well. But once you type in something way back, if you typed in the chat, gotcha there. If you typed in the chat anytime during the show, you're eligible. You guys just like having fun with me a little bit. All right, let's do the drawing here. and got. What was the one game I said there? I think Thomas might have fell asleep on us. But let's just go with what we got. Boston Bruins. Maybe you guys can help me out. Maybe you guys wrote it down. I write it down, but Boston Bruins was one of them. And I thought we had another one, you guys. But did we have an NBA? Did we have an NBA? Oh, boy. We'll get it. I know we had more than one. All right, let's just do the drawing. If you win, it's only going to be a 2 or 3 teamer. I know that. And we never win anyways. So let's see who is going to at least win the drawing. That's the funnest part anyways, right? Here we go. Show's over, you guys. Red AOD, Fernando, Truth, Robert, Jermaine, Gerardo, Thomas, Redbeard, Kelly, Jermaine, AOD, chosen one, and Tino wins again. Tino. He comes in, makes his comment, and Tino can win the chat here. Matt, you know what, Matt? Tulane was at least, you're right. Tulane was that other one. So let me make Tulane the other consensus. You guys had them 3-0. Good on you, Matt. And remember, I was saying there. So I think so too. It was Tulane. So it's at least the Bruins. It's at least Tulane. I don't think we had anything in the NBA, right? We didn't have Lakers, Wizards, no consensus. Hawks, Cavs, no consensus. Rockets, Grizzlies, no. Magic, Blazers, no. Wolves, Jazz, no. I thought we had another one. Was it hockey, maybe? It's Bruins. I know that. All right, let's just roll at least with the 2-teamer. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys. McNeely or Hostler? No, I did not. But Jason, I did not take it. But let me say this about McNeely and Hostler. One of my favorite golf analysts has both of those guys on his card, and this man has hit the winner. He picks like I do. He picks about 5, 6, 7 golfers a week. I mean, that's how you do it. You just can't pick one in a golf tournament. But I will say this, with McNeely and Hostler, this golf analyst, I've mentioned him here on the show yesterday about how I like this guy. He has included both of those guys in his card this week, and he has hit the winner in 4 straight weeks, including a 100-1 whatever it was last week. So just will mention that right there. I did not put those guys. AOD, no, we've hit it a few times now, but not for any big. No, people who have won so far, it's only been, like $7. It's really been nothing. So I just want to mention that, though, with McNeely and Hostler, top golf analysts that I follow that has had the winner. Again, you could pick 20 guys, I guess, and pick the winner, but he's like I do. He picks, 5, 6, 7 guys. That's a very reasonable amount. I have 7 today as well. I did not include McNeely or Hostler, but this analyst who has hit the winner in 4 straight tournaments, and he is a top golf analyst. It's not some guy on Twitter like me or I, but he did include them in his picks. So just want to let you know that. There, I would say his name, but it's not fair to say other, people's picks. I'll just say it like that. Here, you might know who the analyst is if you're really into it like I am, but he did pick both those guys. I can't reiterate it enough. I just couldn't use McNeely or Hostler. I appreciate what Jason is saying there. I thought the line was actually not fair on the guys. So especially McNeely, looks like he was getting bet pretty heavy, and Hostler looked like the kind of the underdog pick. All right, one more. Sacramento State and Montana steamed to the over here in this one. We said Sacramento State got steamed. Now here's steam to the over with Sac State and Montana State. It's up to 1. It was 133, and now it is currently up to 134. Juice to the over at Bet Online. Thanks a lot for joining me here on the morning steam. Be back tomorrow 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Make sure you check out First Strike there in the videos tab here on the Sports Money Network. And also don't forget, check out my UFC show with VB MMA picks. there. Look at me looking all regal, right? Mike put this together. He said he loved it. I'm like, what do I look like? Some type of, I don't know. But check out that show as well there and pick up the plays there from me. Oh, God, look, I'm trying to make sure here we go. I'm naked. All right, there we go. Check me out today also with my picks over there with BB, and that's going to do it for the show. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team, call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the